Adoatv, bringing good things to life. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Hello there, good morning, and thanks for joining us on today's news bulletin. This is the AM News, coming to you live from our studios at the John Evans Fifiata Mills High Street in Accra. We are also streaming live on Facebook at Adoatv Ghana, on YouTube at Adoatv GH, and around the world at adoanewsonline.com. My name is Jonathan Ama. Now, coming up in this bulletin, the chairperson of Ghana's electoral system, Madam Jane Mensah, has stated with much confidence that she has proved that elections that was run in the 2020 general elections was run effectively in the country. Also in this bulletin, following the registration of the Ghana card, agitated people have stated they applied on queues that they have to form in the registration of the Ghana card. And in the world of business, Bank of Ghana cautions public against fraudulent world remit money doubling scheme. We have the details to that and more right on the news bulletin. Please do stay. For staying with us, remember this is your hub of comprehensive and compendious news updates. Now to our very first story. The chairperson of Ghana's Electoral Commission, Jane Adoatv Mensah, has stated that the end result of Ghana's 2020 general elections shows that elections can be run effectively in West African countries, purportedly Ghana. She explained that Ghana's successful election story can be an inspiration to West African states as due to its transparency, credibility, cost of effectiveness, high turnout, and the peaceful conduct as it's characterized by it.
Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to the glory of God I'm pleased to say that Ghana held an election in December 2020 that proved that the story of elections in our sub-region can indeed be an inspiration, that our story as West African states can be one that brings hope to our youth and light to the coming generations, and that we can provide best practices that the most advanced democracies of the world can learn from. Yes, we can. I humbly refer to Ghana's 2020 elections as historic for the transparency, the credibility, the cost-effectiveness, the high turnout, and the peaceful conduct that characterized it. So orderly, so methodical, so calm were the polls on the 7th of December 2020 that BBC could find no other way to describe our elections than boring.
She explained that despite the projection of low turn as a result of COVID-19, the Commission was able to compile an entirely new biometric register in 38 days, of which the efficiency of their coverage in the voter registration exercise has been attested to by the recently released Ghana's population census.
We proved that elections in our sub-region can be run efficiently in spite of the odds and challenges. Indeed, the global COVID-19 pandemic caused a major disruption to our election timetable as a result of the uncertainty and the fact that the suppliers of our electoral materials were unable to meet our procurement schedule owing to the global lockdown. As a result, it was only 6 months to our elections that we were able to commence our electoral processes. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, within that short space of time, we completed every electoral process, including introducing and deploying a new biometric voter management system comprising hardware and software, and preparing a new biometric register. This and other electoral processes were undertaken within a space of 6 months, from the 30th of June when we started the registration exercise to the 9th of December when we declared the presidential results. In spite of the fears and projection of a low turnout as a result of the COVID-19 virus, we compiled an entirely new biometric voters register in 38 days only, successfully registering over 17 million eligible Ghanaians in that short time and exceeding our initial target of 15 million registrants. By bringing voter registration centers to the doorsteps of citizens, we ensured that every eligible person who wished to register was able to do so. The efficiency of our coverage in the voter registration exercise has been attested to by the recently released population census figures that place Ghana's population at 30.8 million.
Giving vivid clarification on its transparency, she said,
"We innovated groundbreaking best practice for the achievement of orderly and swift polling processes. And so for the first time in our history, there were no long queues, no frustrated crowds, and no disgruntled voters on voting day. So orderly and swift was our polling process that by 1 p.m., 70% of our polling stations had completed voting long before the end of polls at 5 p.m. We achieved this through a simple system of reducing the number of voters per polling stations and increasing the number of polling stations nationwide. I'm happy to note that we recorded a voter turnout of 79% compared to 67% in 2016. We proved that electoral processes in West Africa can be transparent. All our electoral activities were conducted in the full glare of the public.
However, the Commissioner disclosed that, aside its credibility and transparency, it was cost-effective.
Proved that elections in our sub-region can be cost-effective, and that with strict financial and procurement protocols, elections on our region can be largely self-financed. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, for the first time in our history, we executed the entire electoral process without donor assistance. Indeed, our elections of 2020 were solely financed by the government of Ghana. I'm happy to note that we reduced the cost of our election by 41% compared to 2016, notwithstanding inflation and price hikes, and the fact that we incurred additional costs owing to the COVID-19 protocols we deployed throughout the election. We cut the cost per voter from $13 per head in 2016 to $7.70 per head at a time when the cost of elections is rising world over. Through this reduction in cost, we saved our government a formidable sum of $90 million.
Madam Jane Adoatv, the chairperson of Ghana's Electoral Commission there. Away from that to some other development, on a rather sad note, the former Minister of Aviation, Joseph Kofi Ada, has been confirmed dead. Mr. Adawi is the immediate past Member of Parliament for Navrongo Central in the Upper East region, died at the age of 65. According to a relative, Mr. Ada died in the early hours of Thursday, October 14, 2021, on the arrival at the Legon Hospital. The relation disclosed that he had been battling with ill health for the past few years. Mr. Ada, who also served as Minister of Sanitation in President Nana Danko Akufo-Addo's first term. He was also a financial economist and a management consultant. The former Deputy Minister for Agriculture, Kennedy Nyako Osei, also confirmed the death of his former colleague on social media and commiserated with the family. His gentle soul rests in the bosom of the Lord. Now, away from that, let's talk about issues pertaining to the registration of the Ghana identification card, and scores of individuals gathered at the Ghana Revenue Authority offices in the Accra High Street have expressed worry over slow pace of the registration of the Ghana card. These individuals include those who had already registered but are yet to receive their card, and also those who are yet to register. They poured out their frustration on the arrival of the news team.
The ongoing card registration exercise in the 16 regions across the country has been met with long queues amidst slow pace of exercise. One of the centers for the registration exercise is the GRA office on the Accra High Street. Adwa News team was at the center to ascertain the progress of the exercise so far, especially as many government or public service requires the Ghana card now. Upon arrival, the team was met with agitations from some aggrieved Ghanaians whom, according to them, had been in the queue for almost 6 hours. They asserted that officials of the GRA are taking money from some people, hence they are given the opportunity to register theirs, while for those who are not able to afford the supposed protocol services are left to their fate. All legitimate means to get them registered with the National Identification Authority to get their cards have proven futile.
Interesting. Well, away from that, government has been urged to resource the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources with funds and personnel, as well as ensure that the sector is prioritized. Speaking to Adoatv News, chairman of the Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation, Koniwas, Adoatv, says this has become necessary because if Ghana's water, sanitation and hygiene is well positioned, the country will be resilient enough to address many of the emergency challenges faced by it. He spoke ahead of the 32nd MOL conference in Kumasi.
Confront us in the sanitation and water subsector. The theme for this year's conference is repositioning the wash sector for emergency response and sustainable development. Coming from the background of the COVID-19 pandemic and the various emergencies that we have experienced, we believe that if we are able to position Ghana's wash sector, we will be resilient enough to address many of the emergency challenges that we face, and also use wash as a catalyst for growth and sustainable development. That is why we are having the conference on this theme. The joint monitoring program, which is conducted by the World Health Organization and UNICEF, have indicated that Ghana's access to improved sanitation, and when I say improved sanitation, I'm basically talking about access to improved toilet facilities, that we are at 24%. 24% for me is not good enough, because there are countries which are less endowed than Ghana who are beginning to take the necessary steps and are doing better. And I think that if we prioritize the sanitation subsector enough, if we invest adequately, if we do law enforcement, and if we engage all stakeholders adequately, we should be able to accelerate the rate at which Ghanaians are able to have access to improved sanitation. And that is why we are calling on government to take the necessary steps, resource the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources with funding and personnel, and also ensure that this sector is prioritized. Once we do that, things will fall in place. And with the support of the MMDAs, I think we should be getting higher than we are. Also, the public is also advised. Access to toilet facilities is no more a luxury. It is actually something that we must have. And I think that Ghanaians must also be worried that where they are, they don't have access to toilet facilities. And they should take steps to own toilet facilities because they are a catalyst for growth.
And away from health and sanitation, there has been allegations of bribery unfolding in some metropolitan, municipal and district assemblies in the ongoing elections that are being conducted to either confirm or reject MMDCE's nominated by the President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Following these allegations, a member of the New Patriotic Party's communication team and a 2020 parliamentary candidate in Akwatia, Ernest Kumi, has expressed worry about how bleak the future of Ghana's local governance system is as he looks at the menace and how it has been kept.
In an interview cited, he said, "Giving out bribe is a clear scenario of the deterioration of Ghana's political establishment, and it's going to be worse in the near future." According to him, many Ghanaians know how it was previously, and any political watcher will agree with him that in the past, some of these behaviors were condemned. Yet it worse today, and as such, in some few years to come, it will be worse. The news team further hits the streets of Accra to seek views of the populace on how dire the consequences of this phenomenon can be.
If you say the OG bribe, no, at the abba, at the apetumi, only person pano or me or man, OG bribe, abba, or bribe now, it's say, or no babano, or by ye, you may be at the other Ateneca, a canon so better no, Ubiesca, Anna, or the other, or the Aticano. Indeed, the minimum.
Why? You saw a man here, the Sika talk or mine, yeah, dear, Ebeboa. Yes, you can hear the Sicana can hold the air, Nemo saw me the Sika, a man crofan Sunday at to a bowman, Amamana, and the idea of boy and cry. Say, yes, share woman, ye, now Munjuma, the omo ye, Edeboa or mine. Say a papa, name ye papa, and then I say, yaji tomb near the share, Eto Abama. No one says, "Oh, my Yesika, near Fanto Abama or Modea, near the Beboy."
As some section of the public expresses worry and aware of the view that taking bribes before endorsing a candidate is just like creating more avenue for people to loot from the national coffers. Others also believe that those who are caught in the act should be made to face the full rigors of law to deter others from engaging in such acts.
Say true, so much proof say ni personally what J Sika sana be a to aba nipa na ono oji sika na say ye twena so na de ono so me sika no say ye twena so because eno nye correct here me fi say oman no say ye desire bu oman na ebe ma oman no ebe.
Some educational updates. The Africa Education Watch, Adoatv, has asked the General Legal Council to admit some 499 candidates who were declined admission into the Ghana School of Law despite passing the 2021 entrance exams. According to the Adoatv, measures taken by the Ghana School of Law to refute the student access to legal education is unfair and cannot be justified. It demanded that the move rebut the government's agenda of doubling tertiary enrollment by 2023.
The African Education Watch has asked the General Legal Council to admit some 499 candidates who had declined admission into the Ghana School of Law despite passing the 2021 entrance exam. According to Adoatv, the measures taken by the Ghana School of Law to refute the students' access to legal education is unfair and cannot be justified. It's demanded that the move rebuts the government's agenda of doubling tertiary enrollment by 2030. It made the remark in a press statement issued on Wednesday, October 13, 2021. This action of the Ghana School of Law contradicts government's own agenda of doubling tertiary enrollment by 2030 and creating equal opportunities for career progressions and skills development as a means of curbing graduate unemployment, the statement said. How would the government of Ghana attract more students into tertiary education when graduates from our law faculties, even after passing the law school's entrance exam, cannot gain admission to the Ghana School of Law? Adoatv nonetheless presented a solution to the Ghana School of Law that it should be restrained by physical space. It insisted that the school can either accept the students as in-persons or virtual students. According to Adoatv, this forms part of government's tertiary education policy. Globally, training institutions have adopted virtual learning systems and technologies to sustain the increased access to legal education in the face of limited physical infrastructure and the COVID-19 pandemic effect. Should there be genuine concerns regarding limited physical space, the Ministry of Education through the various tertiary institutions have enormous experiences in managing high numbers through virtual school initiatives, which should never pose a challenge to the Ghana School of Law adopting to admit the 499 students into a virtual school. It further called on the Ghana School of Law to admit the 499 students either as in-persons or virtual students, in line with the government's tertiary education policy. Pro tem, the National Union of Ghana Students has also in a petition asked Parliament to order the General Legal Council to provide raw marks of candidates who took part in Ghana School of Law entrance exams for 2020 and 2021. Now to presume only a response from the GLC on the retrospective implementation of the new rules of the exams will resolve the continuing mass failures recorded during the professional law school entrance exams. The union says its own independent checks shows that the total number of students who passed the 2021 examination stands at 1,289 and not 790, as the General Legal Council's new regulation makes it. Hence, its petition to the legislative arm of government. We wish to petition your high office to order the General Legal Council to appear before the Constitutional, Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee with raw scores of the examination from this year and last year. Mr. Speaker, we deem it necessary for raw scores of both the previous year and this year to be examined by the committee because we believe it will demonstrate whether the separation of scores from the
demand was government to agenda their enrollment list of the tertiary education by 2030. If you're just joining, you're still watching the AM News live from our studios at the John Evans Fifiat Mills High Street in Accra. Now let's look at some updates in the world of business. Renewable energy currently accounts for just 2.4% of the power generated in the country. The government, meanwhile, is seeking to achieve a 10% renewable energy target by 2030, in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, Goal 7, which talks about universal access to clean and affordable electricity. Against this background, the Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, said the government stands fully committed to supporting the two state-owned power generation firms to reach their optimal renewable energy potentials.
Since His Excellency took office in 2017, we have seen a great momentum in the development of the country's renewable energy industry. The VRA, the Deputy Chief Executive, has just enumerated all that the VRA is doing in adding renewable energy to its portfolio of generation capacity. The Bui Power Authority, on the other hand, has also completed the installation of even more renewable energy solar PV panels at the Bui in the Bono region. The Bui Power Authority has the infrastructure and resources to ramp up to 250 megawatts of solar, and I want to assure you that the Ministry of Energy will support the Bui Power Authority to reach their full renewable energy potential. So I even encourage more the VRA to even do more in your renewable energy portfolio. I am happy to announce that the construction of the Palugu multi-purpose power plant would comprise also an additional 50 megawatt solar plant for the VRA. This project is ongoing. The project is strategic and when completed would add another golden feather in VRA's renewable energy portfolio and open up the entire northern region of Ghana to accelerated economic development. We are committed and will ensure the timely completion of this project. I do know that the Bui Power Authority even wants to go further in its search for other hydro generation potentials in this country and would encourage them to do so. I am again happy to announce that Ghana has completed the preparatory phase for the scaling up of the energy renewal.
The Minister for Energy, Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, there. Now, you can log on to our website, adoanewsonline.com/business for more business news updates. Now, in the world of sports, the police hockey team and army hockey team played a goalless drawn game in the ongoing round-robin men hockey competition. A loss for either team would have put one of the two out of the contention for the ultimate prize. This set up an all-final general between Ghana Revenue Authority, the police, and the army on Saturday.
2-0. The Ghana Armed Forces team, which has recruited new players, won against reformers to give hopes of challenging for the ultimate. The competition leaders, GRA, proved too strong for reformers by defeating them by 2-1. However, the game between the Ghana Army hockey team and the police hockey team ended in a goalless draw game. At the end of the game, the coach of the police hockey team, Samuel Mafo, said that nothing went wrong for his team. Although his players played according to the instructions from the technical team, he's a little bit disappointed they couldn't utilize their chances.
Nothing went wrong. Like, we play with the instruction that we taught them to do, and that's the right thing that they did. One way or the other, you may have some little bit problems with the players in terms of tracking back and kind of stuff. Our game plan worked a little bit for us, but we are a little bit disappointed. Maybe the short corner side that we will not be able to utilize our chances. But all hope is not lost. We have another match. That is Saturday. So we'll go back to the drawing board and visit that match on Saturday and see what will happen.
Are you happy with the officiating?
That's officiating. They are human beings, so nobody is perfect. So we just let it go. So we just concentrate on the next game. So that's the most important. The most important thing is we didn't lose. We were in the game. We played a nice game. The spectators were so happy. They watched a nice, very good game. Experienced side with a young side. And we show our character. We show our best. So we are waiting for the next match. That's the most important thing.
Okay, your team has 4 points. And then
Thanks for staying with us. Thanks for staying with us. This is how we end the AM News right from our studios at the John Evans Fifiata Mills High Street in Accra. For more news, do well to log on to our website on adoanewsonline.com. Until then, my name is Jonathan Amma. Have a wonderful morning. Remain your hub of comprehensive and compendous news.
Suzy about for ye CB men, CB women, CB malakyo, and a yedi CB soap on swaba. Nemumen neno ye bepese, ye be kasafa CB soap no, kwa ye faso, edi yusu CB soap no. Eni hiya hiya se onipe bia wo Ghana ha, ana asase so utumi yusu CB soap no be. CB soap, ye de ye pedicure, eni manicure. Pedicure ye brea, wa apply CB soap ewo unase eni unentin. Na watnasi for some minutes na wahoro ni nyina awurere no eya unase de no na pedicure no na afen so se ode ya unsem na no so hohoro na awurere no na manicure kwa ye faso ede yusu CB soap na nkasangasa na me ba be kire no de we binum ho a wonsem no ayedin ama sabio ne nsa no kura ya akoako ebinum nsam tumi ye dendenden ma ne nsanum ni nyina paapai enu nti na Suzy Heba for yakofa CB eba soap edi abase wo sa haw ni nyina bia ka wakoma to yam ukoto CB soap no bia ba udi nsuo di kan fa nsam na fede weti soap no bia obema na dos wonsam nsati nkan wo de be fa nsa yam ni nyina ne nsantam ni nyina uya ne sa wi obetena se fiti 10 to 15 minutes no wa hohoro ni nyina the moment adi soap no be fa nsem a obehohoro no na soap na hoodin ekita no na ne nsem eye dead cells ni nyina nti me say o men ko use blade because blade ha one hwe na akwakotwa nti use small knife and na say scissors se o buy scissors no mumienu se ya na o dia rewre nsem fini nyina se o ye ba ko wie na se na nsem no aye no eya no wajai enye ma wo betumi asan apply second soap no so bi na no so watena se for sa bre no o hohoro ana wasan rewre bonso nsem be ye moton kama na o no yire ana o partner bi hia watumi de nsa fa ne honam no so ana ye kɔ bia bi na se ye chia o so watumi atie bi Say bia o 19 anase o pese odi sibi soap no eye pedicure e wo nase a e bia o 19 enye den o 19 empaipa ya obedi kan de nsu afa o 19 no nase no na weti sibi soap no bi na odi asra o 19 no nase ni nyina se odi sra o 19 no nase ni nyina wie na pese odi si nsu mu a kwan wo ho nemu obetwen be 55 to 10 minutes time ansana odi esinsu mu ne enti sa ne se odi sra o 19 no sisi a na odi sunsu mu eba horo no nyina edubre na owurawura abon se enye adwuma bi amfa ma wo enti so pese odi sinsu mu after 10 minutes no na wasan de sinsu no to di sinsu no so for 10 minutes ana fe de ohoro a na wa rere ebeyi dead cells ni nyina ebeyi fi na wo 19 ni nyina na bibia aye fine.
Sibi herbal soap, who say? Sugar now. Your Bemampo. She said you use Sibi herbal soap the tree now. The nasi ninety. She said now I Sibi herbal soap. It works like magic. We are now we are correct. My feel it. Why be me? When you could yak ni mem slippers in what you prefer nasi. Sibi herbal soap. Perfect. And you think I better command my say. So person now we come out. We 19 papa there. Always we use Sibi soap. Eba. And you put her. Wash. Abba.
Nia to subium ebia o 19 no aye dedendenti na wo ye bra wo de asra wie na wa twen ahohoro a rere ni nyina awie no na fe de weti soap no kakra e de ato traba no so na wo de atwi o 19 no ebia wo ni scriber bia wo ho onni abo bia wo ho no mo a wo betimi ati soap no kakra de ato rough cement ana abo bia so ye rough so na wo do 19 na twitwi so wo ye ne sa every week bia ye no mpamio na o 19 ni nyina be fefefe na ye mre ya nsam ni 19 ni nase no e cells a etumi nyin nti se o 19 na anase o nase na ye cells na etumi nyin no se enyiya na cells no wu na o hyampaboa na heat ne kana eno do ye hwan ebeyi sent so your ban na okru was a problem no bi wo your bema na wa was a problem no bi abomodin asa obenya sibi soap no bi okoto bi ba fa nsuo di kan fa o 19 no nase na fa soap no bi srasra o 19 no nase ni nyina na twen be 10 to 15 minutes hohoro ni nyina na fe di pe small knife na scissors fa rere sa dead cells na wo 19 no nase ni nyina utumi yesa wi a odo pampaboa no hye no 1 month na yi o 90 cent bia wom Suzy Herbal for your drink and for whom pa ye 19 year bia ye nin sheda nko ho nemum sika wo tumi de titompa sika wo betumi atiska kese de akoto wo dem nkonwa no utie konwa no ma empempi no tumi sisa onan edi sisi nkonwa no ebinum 19 tumi ye rough ama papa ya ma omutumi de tete bedsheet timi srew bomodin na abrenia brebia be use sibi soap no bi edi aye pedicure ni manicure anase odi be yi 19 ni nase fin eni nsam fin na aboa na bibie tumi aye kama sibi soap no onipa dase ni bia wa asase so bia no betumi use na afen so se oyo bia wa propro ye foot rot na obedi kan pe cotton o te cotton na kakra o de cotton no be bonsuo na we bie soap no so o de fafa ni boko ehuro bi beba cotton num fafa unan ni ntem no o de femu a 10 minutes per hohoro anase kona kodware nti me advice say abreni abrebia no so foot rot na be use sibi soap na use no bra wa ready anopa e bia opese wo kwakodware uye no anopa ne anwumre a wo foot rot ni nyina ebeko eyemwa wa na wom e no mu didi unan ni ntem no apropro no enye ye nantem kwan na ye apropro tumi ye nsa ntem nyina ye won krofu bi wo Ghana ha adwuma omo ye enu nti abrebia na ne nsa da nsuo mu nti no omutumi nya insantem apropro no bi sa wo so wo sa ha wo no bi amesrew unya cotton eni sibi soap no bi a ti cotton ne kakra fa bo nsuo sa wo di bo nsuo no wi a fa soap ne ni boko ro na beba cotton no no fa unsa ne ntem no mame eno so 10 minutes no wa hohoro uta ye na nopa eni anwumre bia so ha no nyina no ebe feel so na wade ho na bibia tumi aye fine.
Sibi Herbal soap. Amanfo agiato. ɛyɛ samra yɛdi hwɛ yɛ nan ho edi na ho na me ni atronkyerɛw akrobato mo na mama ya akrobato etia bibia me kanfo ade papa na me de mama me ankasa ma yusu bi ma hu se ma yusu bi enipa me na mo disi bi heba so fo da e doso obi asem o kan bia ya sem papa e hyen kran se akrobato samna na mo di bedwa so no si before di bedwa eye samna papa se wo nanti wo nase wo di ba sasro no yi ho nyina kakaka bo so wo na wa se akola foforo no adansi na media mawo mintimi ni anipa bi anim ento ade bone mawo because of my credibility. I'll never lie to you. Me peme man for accept. Na me dome man. Na me die me nyano so me nye ready say me say no anasem din kika bia be kaka ho. Ne say sibi heba soap nko ade me me gina dia that say eye papa. Tobi na be say di sitie. Sibi ana Ghana ma any member yet don't want. We always thank you. Thank you very much.
Yɛde herbs ɛna ɛyɛ sibi herbal soap yɛwɔ nduro no bebree wɔ hɔ no ma yɛde yɛ pedicure ne manicure oyu so a bra oyu so ne mo no na ɛno mo ɛma o nenti na yɛden by sibi soap nte saa mo na oyu so sibi soap no na ɛma o nenti no ɛyɛ mrɛ fine ɛni side effect bia
sibi soap no metompa obi wɔ hɔ a ɔno no wo ma ne dia ɔbɛyi so shampoo wewe ohunu so na no wo de mana wo se no ane se wo de aye nipa ne nan na wo atwia na aye fine wo bia na wo se wo de wo foot bibi a massage no wo ye bi a massage na asa nti no ye easy e mom na ye adwuma so fine me pa cho wo wati sibi soap na wo so hwe no bo modern na kope ba ko wo kun fi adwuma ba wo de mountain na afa ye ne na wo fa no bon komo wo bia twitwima no na wa wo be hu se na wo ko na mbe
me mitimi fa me pɛ enkanfo bibi mawo mitimi fa me pɛ ema wo nyi bibi ni preko pesa na Ghana ye nyina dan abi ansan me kam bibi no e fa duro ana bibi ni pa yusu di kono video na ni pedie bia na abiefo agiato me akrobato aka who knows tomorrow me catch them say sibi herbal soup no abiefo agiato they have proved that is good for human being to use.
Sibi soap no pe bia to a uko drugstore pharmacy herbal shop cosmetic shop say provision stores ahodo bebre wo Ghana hanom kura na omuton sibi herbal soap no bu obetumi afre Suzy herbal fo ewo telephone numbers amede ba be ma we so ne edikan no eye 0247 11 1671 ne atusumi no ye 0246 578750 near to Sumi and Saye 0240 952027 Meda Ashafonyina Ase.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
So we are kunini roofing industry nim enti so we roofing na wadwen Asatek. Asatek wo quality long span roofing sheeter esan nail free. Try say ehia so we dey dadoabo mu na so etim wo dan no so a pampe amframa and ehum entumi nya no hwe. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Try say every na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet there. Eye madan bia say your warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say your wufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet no be. Na wo dan do be gina so na yi ne ho. Wo ye delivery services papa bia. Emfa ho ne fa kwan wo Asatek bema wo can order between 3 and 5 working days. Wo VIP delivery services so a 1 day pe na wo can. Hwehwe Asatek achi kwan Watama 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na ben Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo ben Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatek, sheltering you for life.
You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. I am Priscilla Sewamenu, Miss Health Ghana 2020. The month October is noted for breast cancer awareness, and this October, Sonotech Ghana is partnering with Miss Health Ghana to bring you breast cancer awareness campaign dubbed Pink It Out. So from the 1st to 31st October, Sonotech Ghana is offering free breast screening for all women out there. Plus, you get 20% off mammogram and 50% off ultrasound scan if you need one at any of their branches. The campaign is on. Join the campaign, support women, encourage women to come for screening, and support women living with breast cancer. On this note, I will entreat all my sisters out there to come detect it, treat it, and defeat it, because early detection saves life. Thank you.
Water, but when I get your mouth, and then so I'm about fire.
Malaria and tea. You are yet to bono. Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo, ashene customers. One is a mammy, I smart. Upper CB Malakio, a man buyer or the eco school. Share, say a Genesis berry market any malaria and tea. I want to mean.
And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And try better one. And the CB Malakio. You didn't know. And now I can't come as soon as I CB Malakio. And no one so there. And I don't grow. And yet that shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for. About a woman for. Any quada won't in fear doing.
Susiana. What would you win?
FD Ashasha sa a jedi and car to you aja to Musa and
Hello everyone, my name is Amalindate, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work Promises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
CB makeup now. I'm correct. Why your best mankasa?
That's it.
Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures about one man. CB men capsules. Missy CB men capsules in America.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules. Now, you knew the dada. And 1 year packaging I had the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any behind one for the piggy.
Share a painful, any about town man for for. Any quadruple you and come home.
Susanna, Ghana money man, Tamasi.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750.
FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Good morning. It's Friday, the 15th of October, 2021. I'm doing well. I'm highly blessed and favored by the Lord. And I know that if you're alive and you're watching me wherever from, then I know that God has blessed you too. And giving another opportunity, another day, as we enter into the weekend, where we usually wait for, we are keen for the weekend most of the time. I just want to put some good words, vibes into you. But before that, this is AM Ghana on Adoatv, where we bring good things to life. If you had stayed with us earlier on, then you have listened or heard the news brought to you by Jonathan, and it's my good self here, Julia, to take you through the newspaper headlines and some other segments of the AM Ghana morning show. So I will not be doing this alone. Reginald Daddy will join me. We will have some political reps here to dissect and discuss on certain political issues and maybe social as well as when they come on the newspaper headlines. But we will bring you a health segment. You do know that this is the Pinktober month, so it's breast cancer awareness. And if you see me in my pink, as we do it usually on Fridays, we're going to bring you some bits and pieces of breast cancer awareness. We will not be doing that alone. As usual, Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center is doing that with us. They are partnering with us, not just to spread the awareness, but as well to encourage you to come for a free screening program. Come know your status, be safe. The only way you can be safe with breast cancer is when you have screened, gone through the processes, and then you know for certain that you are safe. Remember that with these issues, we cannot tell. Pain, there will not be pain all the time to tell you that you have breast cancer. So you can never be 100% sure or 100% safe. As the doctors tell us, even some of the tests, even through that, they fail. They can never always 100% tell you. So how much more yourself? So Sonotech brings you free breast screening, also 50% discount on all ultrasound. Remember, when it comes to ultrasound, they have 2D, 3D and 4D imaging. Also, they bring you 20% discount on all mammograms, then go to Sonotech, visit their branches at Osu, just around the Dankwa circle towards the Labadi side, and also at the West Hills Mall. So while you go there to do your weekend shopping, or perhaps on Saturday tomorrow you want to go there, visit the West Hills Mall, you can just take a short divert there and get your breast screening done. Again, if you are in Tema or any of the environs around Tema, opposite the Tema General Hospital, we have one of their medical offices there. Go there, their hospitals, go there, do your breast screening. And that's not the only thing. They do all sorts of scanning, ultrasounds, any medical advice you want, consultancy, whatever it is, go there for all your medical needs. Again, I will be bringing you a very, very important lady when it comes to breast cancer awareness in the country. She will be here. That is no other beautiful, elegant woman. I think I'll hold that for a surprise. It wouldn't be much of a surprise because she's been here before, but I believe you me, whatever she has for you this morning is going to be a good bite. Before we go on a commercial break, I bring you this good news. It says the ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of convenience. The ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of convenience, but where they stand in moments of challenge, moments of great crisis and controversy. And when we come back from the break, I will try and break this down a little bit. So get your cup of tea while you think on this. We will take a cue from our sponsors and I'll be right back. Stay tuned.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Asatec so your kunini wo roofing industry nim enti saudi roofing na wadwen Asatec. Asatec wo quality long span roofing sheet esan nail free try say ehia so de dadoabo mu nanso etim wodan no so a pampe amframa anahum entumi nya no hwe. Asatec quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Try say enwe na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatec quality long span roofing sheet die eye madan bia say your warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say wa wofi use Asatec quality nail free long span roofing sheet no bi na wo dan do be gina so na yi ne ho wo ye delivery services papa bia emfa ho ne fa kwan wo Asatec bema wo saka order between 3 and 5 working days wo VIP delivery services so a one day pe na wo saka hwehwe Asatec achi kwan Watermark 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board warehouse na ben Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo ben Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatec, sheltering you for life.
Breast cancer is very scary and all, but for some reason, a lot of women think that it could never happen to them. October is here again. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come to know that breast cancer is the one cancer that's killing more women than any other cancer in women. This means that all of us need to be concerned and all of us need to take the requisite steps to ensure that we get screened, know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about, and most importantly, know that there is a cure. Breast cancer can be treated and is best when it's detected early. So take advantage of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go and get screened. There's free screening available. If you go to Sonotech in Accra, in their branches at the West Hills Mall in Tema or Osu, you can get your screening done for absolutely no fee at all. Also, if you'd like to do a mammogram or an ultrasound, you get it as a good discount during the month of October. It's time for all of us to get tested. Let us get screened. Let us know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. And most importantly, let us know that if you do have any signs of breast cancer, the earlier it's detected, the better it is for you, your family, and your loved ones. This year, I'm happy to partner with Sonotech during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month to get more and more women interested in taking steps to know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. Stay safe and get screened. My name is Na Shoko. I'm a broadcaster.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Adoatv and the best morning show ever, AM Ghana. So I said earlier, just before the break, that the ultimate measure of a person is not where they stand in moments of convenience, but where they stand in moments of challenge, moments of great crisis and controversy. So this is just saying that when trials, when crisis, when seemingly challenging things come your way, it is not a time to make excuses, because they are, or they have come your way to prove who you are, to prove the toughness in you. So when you are met or you're faced with challenges, it is time to back up and make the right choices, take the right decisions. It's time to prove who you are. With that said, that's coming from my devotional. But with that said, I jump right into the newspaper headlines. As usual, I bring you the daily graphic, truth and accuracy every day first. And Today's date, Friday, October 15th, 2021, issue 21719. The finance minister says youth brainstorm today. The finance minister and the youth are going to have a brainstorming exercise today, and the story is on page 20. I continue. The Minister of Finance, Mr. Keng Ofori-Atta, will today engage the country's teeming youth at the Springboard Ghana Cares Youth Dialogue, which will take place at the University of Professional Studies, Accra, UPSA. So the program is on the theme Opportunities for Ghana's Youth under the Ghana Cares program. So it will bring together tertiary students, graduates, and youth groups from the formal and the informal sectors. For more on that, I think you should just grab a copy of the Daily Graphic. Now, the loudest headline here says VAT scares exploration firms. VAT scares exploration firms. CEO of Ghana Chamber of Mines, that's Mr. Suleiman Ukone, Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines. I have his picture right here, and a little excerpt says some exploration companies in the mining sector are turning their attention to some neighboring countries over what they consider as unfriendly exploration tax regime in the country. So far, about 10 exploration companies are seeking business refuge with Ghana's neighbors, including Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, in search of the yellow metal. You know what the yellow metal is? So the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Chamber of Mines, Mr. Suleiman Ukone, said Ghana was losing its steam to attract more investment in the mining sector due to a value-added tax, that's VAT charges on exploration, which was not the case in these two countries. So you want to know more, you want to read more on this particular story, you go and continue on page 3 of the Daily Graphic. Request information to test the RTI law. That's coming from former of Finso South MP. He says we should request for information to test the RTI law, and that story is on page 3. A former member of parliament for Finso South, Mr. Ben Abdallah Banda, has urged Ghanaians to test the right to information law by applying for information from the state institutions to satisfy themselves that the law is working. There's more to that advice, and it is on page 13 and 20. Now, the final story at the top right corner, government to develop 150,000 hectares grazing reserves. 150,000 hectares grazing reserves. Again on page 13. So the government has earmarked 150,000 hectares of land to develop it into grazing reserves for the promotion of pastoral and livestock farming. The reserves, which will be able to feed more than 520,000 cattle, will augment 2 existing reserves, one in the Afram Plains South District, known as the Wawase Model Cattle Ranch. If I'm wrong, don't mind me, just go ahead with it, which is in full operation, and the other at Amankwa in the Amankwa in the Afram Plains North District. So it's all centered in Afram Plains, North and South, so which is nearing completion both in the eastern region. And that will be enough for it. There's more on conflict solutions and workshops that are being held on that particular story. So on page 13, as I read the excerpt, you can go there for more. And on the back page, okay, so you heard the story, I think that was last week, of the drowned fire officer, who went in rescue of some 3 persons who were digging a well, and in exchange for their lives, he lost his. So we have a story there of him, a tribute and a background to him and all that. And he's saying his daughter has been offered scholarship. His daughter has been offered scholarship. I think that's a little good news for that family that has been heavy laden with such bad and sad news. Again, Kolebu sets up medications list unit. Kolebu sets up medications list unit. I don't know if we have any hospital that has ever done this, but this is my first time hearing something like this. So if you have, you can always finish us with that information via WhatsApp lines and also on Facebook. But this is how I wrap up with the Daily Graphic, jumping straight on to the Daily Guide newspaper, issue 242 of 21. That's year 21. Dies. The late picture of the late Joseph Kofi Adda, former Minister of Aviation, has been reported to have kicked the bucket at age 65. It is unclear what is the cause of death, but we are told that he passed on in Legon Hospital in Accra on Thursday dawn. Again, updates on the NDC incest guru. Update says that he has been caged. So yesterday we learned that he reported or submitted himself to the police, and we are hearing an update today saying that Emmanuel Kwesi Dawood has been caged. Bottom of my cover page, I see two pictures. That's on the left of Samuel Ofosu Ampofo and Kweku Buahen. So Ofosu Ampofo and Kweku Buahen conspired. They conspired, says the witness, and the story is on page 6. Let's see what they are talking about there. So Ofosu, okay, the Congress, Samuel Ofosu Ampofo, and the communications officer of the party, Kweku Buahen, has insisted that the two are on trial because they had conspired to commit an offense. Okay, so Chief Inspector Bernard Berko, who is the third counsel for Mr. Ofosu Ampofo, shrugged off suggestions from the lawyer that Kweku Buahen was arraigned because he had applauded Mr. Ofosu Ampofo when he spoke at the meeting where he made some utterances which are the subject matter of the trial. So Mr. Letha had tape. So you want to know what the witness answered, and you want to know what happened in court, what ensued with the witnesses and with their lawyers. The story continues further and further on page 6. And making the bottom right, Ato Asian begs to refund stolen money. Ato Asian begs to refund stolen money. The founder and chief executive officer, CEO of defunct Capital Bank, William Ato Asian, has renewed his plea to refund part of the monies he allegedly stole from the bank, leading to its insolvency. Can we still say allegedly stole when he himself is coming to say he will refund? Anyway, back page, that makes the sports news of the Daily Guide. Arsenal departure was like a funeral. Arsenal departure was like a funeral, and there's a picture of Arsene Wenger here. He used to be my man, but he left us, and indeed it was like a funeral. So Mauricio, is it Pochettino or Pochettino? And a picture of Lionel Messi as well here. COVID strikes 2 WAC officials ahead of Hearts CL clash. So 2 members of the Wydad AC delegation traveling to Ghana to face Hearts of Oak have tested positive for COVID-19. GhanaSoccerNet.com understands. The Moroccan Giants will take on Ghana's champions Hearts of Oak at the Accra Stadium this Sunday in the CAF Champions League To all who it may concern, I don't know if that will change anything for you, Jonah, but Dubai, Kotoko, sleep in Dubai. You want to know what it's about? Go to the back page. If I read into it, we can say against, may against. So just grab a copy and read into it. Let's jump straight on to the Daily Statesman. Daily Statesman. Glaucoma. On the issue of glaucoma, DI organizes free eye screening, and I would like pay free things. So, but when it concerns our health like this, and you are supposed to go for screening, don't take it for granted. Just jump on the opportunities offered. Free eye cleaning. Glaucoma, also known as the silent thief of sight, is a disease which makes the eye go blind with no warning signs. The signs only show at the last stage of the disease. It is the second leading cause of blindness after cataract. So Dr. Isa Imoro, a lecturer at the School of Medicine, University of Development Studies, says glaucoma is a disease that has no symptoms at the early stages, and when the symptoms start showing, that is the moment when nothing can be done about it. So for more, as in where it is, where do you go for your free eye screening and so forth, you jump to page 2 of that. ECOWAS appoints Akufo-Addo to champion direct universal suffrage campaign. What is this about? So, the Parliament of Economic Community West African States, the Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has appointed President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to champion its drive to achieve direct election of members into the Parliament. The Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Sidi Mohamed Tuni, made the announcements during his opening address at the high-level parliamentary seminar on 20 years of democratic elections at Winneba. The seminar is on the theme evaluating 2 decades of democratic elections in the ECOWAS region, achievements, challenges, and the way forward. There's more to that story. The Ghana Navy foils private attacks on fishing vessels. Ghana Navy foils private attack on fishing vessels. That story again is on page 2. We have a picture of the former aviation minister, Joseph Kofi Adda. Once more, an announcement of his departure from here, from life, from planet Earth. On the back page, the sports page, Kenya's Agnes Terop, okay, husband a suspect as athlete found dead. I heard this yesterday. So we are being told that the husband is a suspect. Okay, all right. So that will be it for the Daily Statesman. And then with the dailies, I'm going new crusading guide. Ayensuano, DCE gets one-touch confirmation. One-touch confirmation. What are we talking about? He gets 100% endorsement, and that story is on page 10. So this issue, I know, I've seen this so many times that now it's like it's nothing to me, but I don't know if people are still falling for it. And this is what the screaming headline on the new Weekend Crusading Guide says: World Remit. This World Remit thing, a money doubling scheme, is a scam. So if you don't a screenshot, yes, of some of the messages they send right here on the front page, BOG is warning everybody that it is a scam. I think that too many people have been duped for BOG to now be telling us this. But anyway, you never know who this warning is for and who it will help. Senya Breku royal family fights Gomwa Fete chiefs. So royal family against of Senya Breku against Gomwa Fete chiefs. I'm wondering if it will be over land disputes, but if my guess is good, And I don't know what you're guessing as well. The best thing to have a fact straight is to buy a copy of this paper and read. Wager Gbawe. Hey, today is like we are around the south getting to. Okay. Wager Gbawe, assembly members and EPA on warpath over closure of one district, one factory, cement factory. What is going on there? What is going on there? Closure of one district, one factory, cement factory by EPA. So you want to know more? Grab a copy. History refuses to die as Khalifa Maikano leads Muslim Juma at Burma camp. And for more on these particular stories, I would have read the Wager Gbawe Assembly matters to you, but it didn't have a reference page, and I don't want to go wandering through the pages of the newspaper. On sports, the New Weekend Crusading guy says it was Asian who really helped me. That's coming from Mikel Obi. Mikel Obi as he opens up on Chelsea career. We have head coach of South Africa, Hugo Bruce. And what is he saying? He's saying we will fight till death. We will fight till death. This is another idiomatic expression. Now I'm wondering how you will take that. South African coach Hugo Bruce on Ghana game. The WAC to arrive in Accra Saturday ahead of the Hearts of Oak clash, and we did hear of two of them having contacted the COVID-19. That will be it for the New Weekend Crusading guide, turning my attention to the most authoritative newspaper, the Ghanaian Times. The most authoritative newspaper, issue 19375, says on cybersecurity threats, don't allow cyber attacks. Don't allow cyber attacks, says SIGA, as it pushes entities to be alert. Mr. Stephen Asamoah Boateng, story on page 16. Promotion and prioritization of cyber security issues will be one of the performance indicators for assessing the chief executive officers of state-owned enterprises. The Director General of the State Interest and Governance Authority, SIGA, Stephen Asamoah Boateng, has said to this end, he has charged CEOs of state-owned enterprises, SOEs, to put measures and structures in place to protect their organizations from cyber attacks. In other words, no excuse we can to protect what can be protected, and as early as possible. I continue with the front page. Over 150,000 hectares of land to be developed into grazing reserves, and I've read a little on that already. Police impound 500 motorcycles in Accra. Police impound 500 motorcycles in Accra, and stories on page 3. Kofi Ada passes on at age 65. Okay, so to the back page. Japan gives World Food Program $4.5 million for nutrition project in Ghana. That's good news, but I don't know if it would have been best if it had come straight to Ghana. Why? Anyway, I think that they want to make sure their money is spent wisely, and World Food Program can be held or can be trusted, held more accountable, if you know what I mean. So 313 farmers received 30,000 mango oil palm seedlings from the assembly. Which assembly? 313 farmers received 30,000. It's mango and oil palm seedlings. So that's coming. Farmers at Asasewa in the upper Menya-Krobo district of the eastern region. So that's where the seedlings are coming from, and that's where they have been distributed 20,000 of oil palm and 10,000 of mango. That will be a wrap up for the Ghanaian Times. I'm jumping straight to my last and favorite paper, the Chronicle, the true independent Mkonto Wesizwe, the spear of the nation. Atu Asian's trial in abeyance. Hey, parties go back to the negotiation table for possible refund of cash to the state. So he said he's going to refund. He said he will refund, and I'm waiting for an update that will read that he has refunded every money. So we have a picture of Mr. Atuasian there, and then also of the Attorney General Godfred Yeboah Dame. Body of family head detained for 3 years by friends. Body of family head detained for 3 years by friends. Hey. Mr. James Awia, a principal member of the Awia family, that's holding document, and member of family answering, that's the one who is holding the document in the picture there, and a member of family answering questions from the media. Again, there is no direction. Okay, so it's on page 2. The Awia family in the South Tong district of the Volta region, and some people of Fievie in the same district are at each other's throats over a 3-year counting each day over the ownership of the dead body, a situation which led to near fisticuffs early this month. The Awia family, whose member is dead, is in the Agave traditional area, and where the said people purported to be friends of the deceased come from. The deceased, Dumega Jacob Awuya, headman of the Agave Awuya, he died on June 16, 2018. And the body was deposited at the Komboni Hospital mortuary by the Awia family. However, reports indicate that members of the Awia family have been allegedly denied permission to take the corpse for burial, a situation that is raising tensions in the area. I'm sorry for the slow pace reading of that one. If you understand, some of the words and the names they are proper nouns, so I have to mention them properly. That's why I have to take my time. Anyway, jumping from that, it says nobody gets to write your destiny for you. Nobody gets to write your destiny for you. Fema Osei Opare tells SHS students, and I think that's a very good advice. No one gets to write your destiny for you. Newmont Golden Ridge Limited pays 110 million Ghana cedis dividend to government, and that story is on page 7. Let's see what that money is going to help solve in the country. I'm going to the penultimate page as usual. Sports. Hearts is ready for WAC of Morocco, Kwame Opari Ado says, and they arrive. The latter arrives in Ghana today ahead of the Hearts clash. Captain Fatau Mohammed rallies support from fans. Hearts received donation from Kofi Akpalu. Okay, and that's a wrapper for the Chronicle, but we cannot put this paper down without having given you its quotation. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness. If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and cleanse us from all unrighteousness. That's 1 John chapter 1 verse 19. So I guess it's relating to Mr. Ato Essien and I pray he gets the needed forgiveness that he is looking for. That's our wrap up for the newspaper headlines. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned. We'll be right back. Remember, it's still the Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and again, it is also a month where we celebrate our relations with the country Rwanda. So you'll be hearing or seeing a lot coming from Rwanda from this station from now till 31st October. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this break.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Asatek so we kunini roofing industry nim enti so we roofing na wadwe na Asatek. Asatek wo quality long span roofing sheeter esan nail free trese ehia so we da doabo mu na nso etim wodan no so a pampe amframa and ehum entumi nya no hwe. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Trese enwe na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eye madan bia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet no be. Na wo dan do be gina so na yi ne ho. Your delivery services papa bia emfa honde for akwan wo Asatek bema wo saka order between 3 and 5 working days. Wo VIP delivery services so a 1 day pe na wo saka. Hwehwe Asatek achi kwan Watamako 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na ben Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo ben Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatek, sheltering you for life.
Breast cancer is very scary and all, but for some reason, a lot of women think that it could never happen to them. October is here again. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come to know that breast cancer is the one cancer that's killing more women than any other cancer in women. This means that all of us need to be concerned and all of us need to take the requisite steps to ensure that we get screened, know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about, and most importantly, know that there is a cure. Breast cancer can be treated and is best when it's detected early. So take advantage of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go and get screened. There's free screening available. If you go to Sonotech in Accra, in their branches at the West Hills Mall in Tema or Osu, you can get your screening done for absolutely no fee at all. Also, if you'd like to do a mammogram or an ultrasound, you get it screened. Let us know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. And most importantly, let us know that if you do have any signs of breast cancer, the earlier it's detected, the better it is for you, your family, and your loved ones. This year, I'm happy to partner with Sonotech during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month to get concerned about. Stay safe and get screened. My name is Na Shoko. I'm a broadcaster.
Water. But when I take your map, and that's all I order.
Malaria and tea. Abba, you are yet my bono.
What you have to figure.
Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo, hashine customers. Wahune se mami ya smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne baya odiko school. She, se aduane si berry market echi ni malaria nti a ontimi ni.
Onia, and na ho ema we no biara to wo. So we malaria test. Na bi wo mu a. Edra bedewa, ene CB Malakio. Yedinu na, ne hahama, na keka bom asone so aye CB Malakio. Edra we so de. Anya no kra o. Aye tata she.
Edra yi nyema apemfo. Abate a wo ma wo manufo. Ene nkwada a woni mfie dumie.
Suziana. What would you win?
FD ahwehwe saa ejedi nkrato yi mu age atomu se eye.
Hello everyone, my name is Adoatv, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st of October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Step Work Promises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. I am Priscilla Menu, Miss Health Ghana 2020. The month October is noted for breast cancer awareness, and this October, Sonotech Ghana is partnering with Miss Health Ghana to bring you breast cancer awareness campaign dubbed Pink It Out. So from the 1st to 31st October, Sonotech Ghana is offering free breast screening for all women out there. Plus, you get 20% off mammogram and 50% off ultrasound scan if you need one at any of their branches. The campaign is on. Join the campaign, support women, encourage women to come for screening, and support women living with breast cancer. On this note, I'll entreat all my sisters out there to come detect it, treat it, and defeat it, because early detection saves life. Thank you.
CB makeups now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeups. You see, CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And 1 year packaging I am the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any bianza na wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. En come home.
Susanna, Ghana man man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750.
FDA agye edwedin kaso yato.
John, wo fini new. Wow, ede ye fe, ede wabwa ejuma. I check wo fina, o ye fe wankasa from Asatek. Oh, na say mo roofing sheets aba bebre nice keke. Why na catch you? Asatek roofing sheet dey, enye nice keke o. With the board so eche yie, enwe na che. Na won colors ahodo fe bebre. No mo ne free roofing sheet no dey. Wo nya dad wa bia o. Na so the board so ejire so pampe. Wo tumi so kiro mo se ne ope roofing sheet no. Ni twa de sama pepepe. Mama po Asatek mo ni dey. One ma technical advice na estimate free or professional installers nso a your on-site installation. Ne bo so kra da fam pa. Oh yes, quality ne bo da feminine. Asatek 5 days pay na mo sa kan order. Na wo ye after sales service proper bin so. Hwehwe Asatek Watema Community 2, Meridian Road, Ebenkoko Board Warehouse, Western Region. So Asatek Takrade Anaji, Yeni Princeland Hotel and the Shenimu. And a Volta Region, yawo Akachi South District Assembly Kwano so wa.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Breast cancer is very scary and all, but for some reason, a lot of women think that it could never happen to them. October is here again. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come to know that breast cancer is the one cancer that's killing more women than any other cancer in women. This means that all of us need to be concerned and all of us need to take the requisite steps to ensure that we get screened, know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about, and most importantly, know that there is a cure. Breast cancer can be treated and is best when it's detected early. So take advantage of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go and get screened. There's free screening available. If you go to Sonotech in Accra, at their branches at the West Hills Mall in Tema or Osu, you can get your screening done for absolutely no fee at all. Also, if you'd like to do a mammogram or an ultrasound, you get it as a good discount during the month of October. It's time for all of us to get tested. Let us get screened. Let us know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. And most importantly, let us know that if you do have any signs of breast cancer, the earlier it's detected, the better it is for you, your family, and your loved ones. This year, I'm happy to partner with Sonotech during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month to get more and more women interested in taking steps to know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. Stay safe and get screened. My name is Na Shoko. I'm a broadcaster.
Yeni Masatek, so we are kunini roofing industry nim enti so roofing na wadwena Satek Asatec will quality long span roofing sheet ɛsan yɛ nail free kyerɛ sɛ ehia sɛ wode dadoabɔ mu nanso etim wo dan no so a pampe amframa anahum entumi nya no hwee. Asatec quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Sure say every nache na empanso enti woma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatec quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eye madan bia say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say a wawufi. Use Asatec quality nail free long span roofing sheet no be. Na wo dan do be gyina so na yi ho. Your delivery services papa bia emfa ho ne for akwan wo Asatec bema wo can order between 3 and 5 working days. Wo VIP delivery services so a 1 day pe na wo can. Hwehwe Asatec achi kwan Watermark 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na pen Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo pen Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Volta region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatec, sheltering you for life.
Water, but when I take your map, and then so I order.
Malaria and tea. Abba, you are yet bono.
What you are doing?
Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo, hashene customers. When you say, Mammy, I am smart. Abba, CB Malakio. I'm man the buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a pianisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want to mean
and now Emma when be around to walk. So we malaria test. Maybe one. And better one and the CB Malakio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now Kikabom as soon as I CB Malakio. And no way so dear. And I don't grow. I yet that shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada won't fear doing.
Susiana, what would you with
FD Ashusha Sa a Jedi and Kratoimu Adia to Musa.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092 57754 020 9494 258 or visit our marketing decks at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. I am Priscilla Menu, Miss Health Ghana 2020. The month October is noted for breast cancer awareness, and this October, Sonotech Ghana is partnering with Miss Health Ghana to bring you breast cancer awareness campaign dubbed Pink It Out. So from the 1st to 31st October, Sonotech Ghana is offering free breast screening for all women out there. Plus, you get 20% off mammogram and 50% off ultrasound scan if you need one at any of their branches. The campaign is on. Join the campaign, support women, encourage women to come for screening, and support women living with breast cancer. On this note, I'll entreat all my sisters out there to come detect it, treat it, and defeat it, because early detection saves life. Thank you.
John, who new? Wow, Eddie, what boy juma. I check a roofing now. Oh, you fell one casa from Asatec. Oh, now Simon, roofing is a baby bray, nice keke. Why the catch hell? Asatec roofing sheet today, and your nice keke with the bodan swa a chee and renache. They want the colors are who go for fair be bray. No new free roofing sheet, no dear. Who near that will be out. Now, so the bodan swa a year supampe. What means which Roman send your open roofing sheet? No, you tell the summer pepe. Mama po Asatec money there. One of my technical advice na estimate free or professional installers and so on your on-site installation. Oh yes, quality nebo da feminine. Asatec 5 days pay na musa can order. Now a year after sales service proper binso. Sheshe Asatec Watema Community 2, Meridian Road, a Benkoko Board Warehouse, Western Region. So Asatec Watakrade Anaji, Yeni Princeland Hotel and Edition, and a Volta Region, Yawo Akachi South District Assembly Kwainusuwa.
Breast cancer is very scary and all, but for some reason, a lot of women think that it could never happen to them. October is here again. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We've come to know that breast cancer is the one cancer that's killing more women than any other cancer in women. This means that all of us need to be concerned and all of us need to take the requisite steps to ensure that we get screened, know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about, and most importantly, know that there is a cure. Breast cancer can be treated and is best when it's detected early. So take advantage of this Breast Cancer Awareness Month and go and get screened. There's free screening available. If you go to Sonotech in Accra, in their branches at the West Hills Mall in Tema or Osu, you can get your screening done for absolutely no fee at all. Also, if you'd like to do a mammogram or an ultrasound, you get it as a good discount during the month of October. It's time for all of us to get tested. Let us get screened. Let us know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. And most importantly, let us know that if you do have any signs of breast cancer, the earlier it's detected, the better it is for you, your family, and your loved ones. This year, I'm happy to partner with Sonotech during the Breast Cancer Awareness Month to get more and more women interested in taking steps to know whether or not we have anything to be concerned about. Stay safe and get screened. My name is Na Shoko. I'm a broadcaster.
Thanks to you for staying with us. You're still watching AM Ghana here on Adoatv Television. A big thank you to Ejoma for holding us down from the beginning of the show. And a big thank you to Jonathan as well for serving us with the AM news. My name is Reginald. Indeed, here we go through the newspaper a review as Ejoma has taken you through some of the headlines that is trending on the newspapers. Now, in the newspaper review today, we'll go back to an event that happened in Winneba 2 days ago at the meeting, the high-level meeting of the Parliament of ECOWAS that was held 2 days ago. Topical or focal points emanated from that meeting. In that meeting, we had a speech from Electoral Commission Chair, and we also heard from His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself. These are two separate topical areas. On the side of Jean Mensah, she indicates that Ghana's election 2020 has become a case study for some international communities. I don't know if that is so much of a good news or a bad news, because case studies are dependent on the topics or angle from which they are picked. So we're going to find out from which angle is Ghana's case study Ghana's election 2020 being used as a case study. We will have our own case study here in the studios with our two reps from the two leading political parties. But before we go straight into that, let's take a recap of what Jim Mensah said during that meeting. I will come back to continue with the conversation. You're watching AM Ghana, don't go anywhere.
Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to the glory of God, I'm pleased to say that Ghana held an election in December 2020 that proved that the story of elections in our sub-region can indeed be an inspiration, that our story as West African states can be one that brings hope to our youth and light to the coming generations, and that we can provide best practices that the most advanced democracies of the world can learn from. Yes, we can. I humbly refer to Ghana's 2020 elections as historic for the transparency, the credibility, the cost-effectiveness, the high turnout, and the peaceful conduct that characterized it. So orderly, so methodical, so calm were the polls on the 7th of December 2020 that BBC could find no other way to describe our elections than boring.
She explained that despite the projection of low turn as a result of COVID-19, the Commission was able to compile an entirely new biometric register in 38 days, of which the efficiency of their coverage in the voter registration exercise has been attested to by the recently released Ghana's population census.
We proved that elections in our sub-region can be run efficiently in spite of the odds and challenges. Indeed, the global COVID-19 pandemic caused a major disruption to our election timetable as a result of the uncertainty and the fact that the suppliers of our electoral materials were unable to meet our procurement schedule owing to the global lockdown. As a result, it was only 6 months to our elections that we were able to commence our electoral processes. And yet, ladies and gentlemen, within that short space of time, we completed every electoral process, including introducing and deploying a new biometric voter management system comprising hardware and software, and preparing a new biometric register. This and other electoral processes were undertaken within a space of 6 months, from the 30th of June when we started the registration exercise to the 9th of December when we declared the presidential results. In spite of the fears and projection of a low turnout as a result of the COVID-19 virus, we compiled an entirely new biometric voters register in 38 days only, successfully registering over 17 million eligible Ghanaians in that short time and exceeding our initial target of 15 million registrants. By bringing voter registration centers to the doorsteps of citizens, we ensured that every eligible person who wished to register was able to do so. The efficiency of our coverage in the voter registration exercise has been attested to by the recently released population census figures that place Ghana's population at 30.8 million.
Giving vivid clarification on its transparency, she said,
"We innovated groundbreaking best practice for the achievement of orderly and swift polling processes. And so for the first time in our history, there were no long queues, no frustrated crowds, and no disgruntled voters on voting day. So orderly and swift was our polling process that by 1 p.m., 70% of our polling stations had completed voting long before the end of polls at 5 p.m. We achieved this through a simple system of reducing the number of voters per polling stations and increasing the number of polling stations nationwide. I'm happy to note that we recorded a voter turnout of 79% compared to 67% in 2016. We proved that electoral processes in West Africa can be transparent. All our electoral activities were conducted in the full glare of the public.
However, the commissioner disclosed that aside its credibility and transparency, it was cost-effective.
Proved that elections in our sub-region can be cost-effective, and that with strict financial and procurement protocols, elections on our sub-region can be largely self-financed. Mr. President, Your Excellencies, for the first time in our history, we executed the entire electoral process without donor assistance. Indeed, our elections of 2020 were solely financed by the government of Ghana. I'm happy to note that we reduced the cost of our election by 41% compared to 2016, notwithstanding inflation and price hikes, and the fact that we incurred additional costs owing to the COVID-19 protocols we deployed throughout the election. We cut the cost per voter from $13 per head in 2016 to $7.70 per head at a time when the cost of elections is rising world over. Through this reduction in cost, we saved our government a formidable sum of $90 million.
Electoral Commission chair on that, and she's given some highlights on December 2020 elections and how much we've saved costs in comparison to the 2016 elections, and as well throwing some colorful insights into the peaceful nature of the 2016 elections. She says that even though there were some deaths recorded, this could not be entirely blamed on the Electoral Commission, as these deaths did not occur at any polling center, nor did it occur as a result of any form of negligence from the Electoral Commission. Well, we'll be looking into some of these, as some members of the opposition have waded concerns into that very statement, saying that it is insensitive to have said that the EC could not be blamed for some of these uneventful occurrences. Well, I'm joined in the studios by Mr. Bernard Amo. He's a communication rep for the New Patriotic Party, and Mr. Israel McLean Ajokache. Good morning, gentlemen, and welcome to AM Ghana. Well, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing well, my brother.
Well, it's surprising that you and I decided to clad in the same traditional apparel. Well, Mr. Ajokache, you're not looking bad yourself. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Well,
maybe why I slept last night was good.
Okay.
Though the economy is not good, but at least where I slept.
I see.
It's okay.
Very well, very well. Well, Ms. Amo, well, so I believe that you're doing well and all poised to begin the conversation with us. Now, generally, let's go back to December 2020 elections again. It feels like just yesterday when I and myself, my colleagues, Pepsiville Robertson, Anastasia Badu, Sam Kusiapia, were keeping vigil, trying to be abreast with electoral processes and how it all went. In the end, it was a fruitful event, only for the uncertain occurrences that happened. In your view, let's go back again. Several months ahead, well over 10 months after the elections, what lessons can we say we have learned in retrospect of the elections?
Okay. First and foremost, I will extend warm greetings to yourself, your cherished viewers and listeners. I also extend greetings to my MP, Honorable Sylvester Tete. Today is the
Botiano English amount from constituency.
Yes. Today is the birthday of one strong young guy. He's a CEO helping to reduce unemployment in this country. He's into transport business. His name is Michael Bayo.
Oh, okay.
And he's doing very well. He's within the Kaswa area.
Enclave.
I extend a happy birthday to him. On this topic of elections 2020, election is a process. It's not a one-time event. In trying to say that, I also would like to put on record that today, if you go to the Electoral Commission's office, they are still working. So it tells you the process. They are working towards other elections and election 2024. So it's a process. And every process has the things that make up the process so that we have the expectant end that we are all waiting for. So 2020 elections, aside the event that happened on the December 7th, every process has to be acknowledged to be able to say that we had a very good election process. These processes included the creation of new voters' ID in times of COVID. So it is not out of place for Madam Jean Mensah to mention that these are some of the successes that she chopped as chairpersons of the Electoral Commission concerning the 2020 elections. Well, if you consider everything that makes up the election, I have voted since 18 years. I've voted, and I've seen how sometimes, in fact, it's not just sometimes, mostly, aside this time where we keep queuing at the polls alone, the whole day becomes like a holiday, where when you go to the polls, you have to wait, form long queues. But looking at the way she was able to break the polling stations down to minute units because of the COVID scare and all that, tells you that that person, that woman, because it's not easy. COVID is not something that anybody has experienced it before, hence coming with some experience. It is something that is quite new to all of us. So if you have somebody who is chairing the Electoral Commission who was able to think on their feet and then thought that, oh, to be able to let people, we don't need people clamping at a small area in the excuse of coming to vote, and then these people will get back home with the virus and all those things. She thought, okay, let's break it down. Let's say no police station should have more than, let's say, 200 or 100 people. That is good. That is good leadership. And I don't think that to measure the quality, good is a measure of quality. Yeah, to measure the quality of the elections, we can downplay that. We can't. Well, we can't downplay that. So if you consider all those things boxed together and the events that happened, I would not say that it is a good thing, especially the killing of the 5 people. It is not a good thing. And the Electoral Commissioner said it on record that it wasn't anything that was coming from, the action wasn't taken by her commission. You understand? The actions came from political parties and the youth, and some people telling their youth people to come and peddle stones, hence the military people responded with gunshots and all those things. So these are some of the things, and she did put on record that the security agencies and all those agencies that were responsible for these things should actually go back and look at the document, the committee's report, so that they will advise themselves accordingly, so that going to 2024, these things will not happen again. So I think, aside those things, she acknowledged that was the problem, but she also acknowledged it wasn't a fault of theirs. So, as in the commission, it's not the commission who agitated it, or it wasn't the commission who asked that those people were to be shot. And there's a fact. It's the unfortunate side is that people have lost their lives, and one has to be sensitive in talking about something like that. So it is only normal that she will say the Electoral Commission did well, and it's a fact. Unless that's your first time of voting in this country, by 2020 elections, all the processes that led to the election before December 7th, I think was okay.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Amwa. Hello, sir. Yes. So, what do you think? I mean, Great presentation and highlights from Mr. Mwan. In your own vein, what was your analysis of December 2020 elections? If for nothing at all, this is the first time I'm asking that from you.
Yes. Good morning to yourself, your colleagues, and your cherished viewers. Let me also use this opportunity to say good morning to Edem Agbana. He's a senior and my boss.
Right.
And then Abraham Buafo, that is OT Deputy Regional Communication Officer. Also, let me send a good morning to the people of Nkonya in the Biakoya constituency, Kwame Krom, Aposakubi, Abotwasi, and Rara. Also, let me say good morning to Ghanaians who are sharing in the difficulties and the reckless and extravagant lifestyle of the president, which is causing hardship and the failure of the economic management team to handle the interest rate and other activities that will give us a proper system to be able to enjoy good governance.
Well, you find problems with the interest rates currently?
At the backdrop of the current meeting that was held at Winneba, of which the electoral commissioner find herself a platform to apologize to Ghanaians for the inconsistencies and the disturbances that characterized the 2020 election.
What form of inconsistencies, for instance?
She was rather, I'll get there, she was rather beating her chest on the achievements that she claimed that they have achieved. My good friend, if you ask me about the Electoral Commission's performance with the 2020 elections, processes leading to the election, during the election, and after the election was a total failure, and it's abysmal. You cannot refer to people who died as a result of electoral disorder that those people are not killed as a result of failure at the side of the organizer of an election. Was it NDC that organized the elections? Was it MPP that organized the election? She should be able to accept responsibility and apologize and tell us that, look, we are going to work on these things that they will not happen in the future.
But she said that.
Don't worry. But she has not admitted. She's pushing it to who? Who is she pushing it to? Unless otherwise you want to advise me that Edukwe accepted that the killings were as a result of bad electoral processes that are put in place.
It's Adukwe. The Gans will not be happy with you if you mention the name like that.
Is what?
Adukwe.
Good. Adukwe. So at the end of the day, the electoral commissioner cannot stand so tall as though she has organized an election that in the whole world, this has been the best election in our time. In fact, you have declared election results 6 times in the history of Ghana. You declared presidential elections 6 good times. And you want us to celebrate you and say that this is something that you have achieved. You see, she needs to be given national parade so that she will bow for a shame. Yes, she needs to be celebrated as a failure.
Well, I will come back to you so that you suggest ways to us. In the meantime, Samuel, now on the issue of transparency, this is one area that raised a lot of concerns in the 2020 elections, especially, you know, what culminated into Mr. Rojo Metonunu's response in the court case. The issue is basically about transparency. To what extent can we say that the 2020 elections was transparent?
Okay. I, for one, am a Ghanaian first, before a political party. Hence, anybody who is having any political discussion should consider that. As a Ghanaian, I'm sad by the way NDC is not ready for power. We need an opposition that acts like they want power. Of course. In 2012 elections, he was making mention of changing figures and all that. I don't know about 6 times. In fact, the earlier results that came and the percentage-wise affected both parties. That does not mean that President Akufo-Addo didn't have a clear lead. We've had elections in this country where the winner had won just by a little over 40,000. So if somebody's winning this now by 500,000, it's not even close. You see, when you go back to 2012, the election petition, it's there on Ghana Web that the figures Aferijan put out, there were discrepancies, about 127,000 votes where we do not know where they came from. You understand? So that, should we say 2012 election just because NPP wasn't satisfied with the Supreme Court ruling was bad? It's not fair. Because we had some issues with the figures. You see, like I said earlier on, the processes also count in determining the end result. So you can't just stand up just because of the brouhaha that happened. Because within a short period of time, this chairperson, EC chairperson, was able to organize a voter ID. I'm sure he has one because he voted. He has one. We didn't even at the point they said it will never happen. All these things that's no mean. And the NDC have always gone out for the woman. They are looking for situations to label her and call her names. It is normal as a opposition party to feel that the Electoral Commission is in for you or it wants to out you. But that is not what we are considering now. Now, on the issue of transparency, I would say the NDC as a party is not being transparent to its people. After the 2016 election,
we are speaking about transparency.
Yes, I'm coming there.
Okay,
I'm coming there. Because you see, when you go to court, the lawyers will question your credibility. They will test your credibility. So the judge, anything your lawyer comes to defend you with, the judge thinks that, oh, this person's credibility is soiled. NDC continues to lie to the ordinary people, especially their party members. And I, for once, granted I'm an NDC person, would have resigned after 2020 election. Yes, and joined the NPP because in 2016, after all that happened and it was clear on all TV stations, we all saw that it was only the NDC that came out to the public to tell them they were in a comfortable lead. Now, fast forward 2020, they pulled the same trick again. I was in the EC strong room. They asked me to move out. They said this, and they asked me to go and tell Mr. John something, and then she went. What kind of joke is that? We all saw these things on the television. We saw the results. Radio stations were announcing. Are you telling us that the Electoral Commissioner had something to do with the figures the radio stations were putting out? That is what I'm saying. We learned our bitter lesson in 2024. That is why we put structures to make sure that we will not be sitting in a position to be crying about transparency and all those things. We as a political party put in structures directly from the polling station to collate our results so that we'll be able to know and not come out publicly to deceive our people like they are doing. So transparency, the EC has played this card very well, has been transparent to both parties. We can't take in fact, the EC strong room, there are 2 people there. The instance whereby somebody went to the washroom, somebody wasn't there, and come on, these stories. But the results are all there. You went to court and you were asked to provide your figures. Mr. Sedugeta, what figure did you get if the EC's figures were wrong? He said, I don't have figures.
Well, so not that you are speaking for the EC, but because we are discussing the EC, and let's speak as people who are concerned about national elections. One other aspect is the public observations, which to some extent frustrated any form of electoral fraud in some areas. Now, these same observers in most cases tend to do what they call the eagle eyes observation by they counting or going round some polling centers, counting the votes and performing their own tally. Does this undermine the transparency of the elections, because you know these are, especially for some CSOs and for some political parties who claim to be observing, they usually come out, and more especially the biggest opposition currently, they tend to come out with their own figures, and then this sort of creates some imbalance within the public when the EC eventually announces its results. Should these aspects be checked in any way? Do you think that the EC should be looking forward to finding a way to checking some of these things?
Yeah, I understand. We are running a democracy, and democracy gives people the right to do these things. Go out there. But you see, when you come out there as a political party, you need to respect your people. You understand? And make sure that the information you are putting out there will be something that your people can solidly rely on. You understand? At the point where almost all TV stations had a particular, their numbers were running in a particular direction. It was only the NDC's coalition center that had different figures. And that will be highly impossible in a country that we have in this country. Like the country we are running, it will be very, very impossible to have almost all TV stations projecting winning per the figures they've picked on the grounds for one person. In fact, the other way, our surprise would be EC coming to declare something that is different from what the TV stations or radio stations have already announced. You understand? Or the figures that we have collected from the polling stations. Political parties have agents there. These are all part of the transparency process. Political parties have agents there. Agents send their figures to the supposed strong room of their political parties where they collate figures. So if these people are not bringing out the truth to the political, I can speak for them, but I can only speak for what the NDC put out there. It was only the NDC that projected they were winning. Aside that, every TV stations that supposedly we think are linked to the NDC were projecting a win. It was just simple. But the only person who was saying that they had won or they were in a comfortable lead was the NDC, and that is where the problem comes in. So ordinarily, we can't stop political parties from putting out figures. I don't think so. Because no matter what, their polling station agent will get figures and transfer it to wherever their coalition center is. But what I would like to say is that there will only be a problem if the media, which the fourth state of government, where the media puts out a figure, that's the figure that the EC comes to put out becomes different. Because at the end, people as Ghanaians, we are thinking human beings. We know that it's dependent on the EC to declare who the president, the winner is. It is not dependent on any political party, even though they are putting out figures. You see, that is why I say that, as granted I'm a member of the NDC, I will resign by 2020 because continuously you have lied in the face of the public that you were in a comfortable view when all media houses were opposing that view. In 2020, you play the same trick. And I said, even granted I'm an NDC member, I would have resigned. Well, this is a recipe for chaos. You understand? Where you incite your people. And it is also true. It is also true that it is not everybody who have access to these media houses. Some of them only listen to what their party says and takes it as gospel truth. We saw the burning of ties, and they know that the figures put out, and it's not like the electoral commission or government have gone to bribe all media houses, which is highly impossible. You understand?
But were some bribed?
I doubt. I doubt. But can you bribe all? Because this is almost all GTV, TV3, all these things yourself. They are projecting that, looking at the figures. President Kufuor has taken the lead. And the figures that it was tallying with the figures of the MPP. But the only sub-decline was the figures of the NDC. That was different from all the TV stations and the ones they have. So what I'm saying is that if you go as a political party, if you take your people here, you would not come out there, paint a picture when already the figures are there for you to see. Paint a different picture that you are taking the lead. You've won, which is a contrary view. It's different. Incite people bend ties because you have told them they've won, and the EC is trying to change figures in the interest of the MPP. So I think political parties should, if they are going to go out there to put figures out there, they should also consider and respect their electorate. That I'm not putting any figure out there that does not reflect what is known. and hence I do not have any interest in inciting people to destroy properties.
Very well. Yeah. Mr. Ajokase, would you consider resigning after what you've heard, and perhaps maybe you've not taken cognizance of some of these things? Would you consider resigning?
If it is proper to maybe apologize even on his behalf for making such a statement, I would apologize on his behalf to members of the NDC. But let me tell him, you can decide to ride on a horse. It is the horse that stamps and fall. And you, the human being, most of the times, your leg might not hurt. Okay. But if the horse falls heavily, you might have a headache. So I am telling him to take it to his superiors that the deliberate attempt to use rhetorics, the deliberate attempt to use sweet-scented words, if that word is proper for me to use, to always convince Ghanaians that they have won these elections and they have won it largely, is a lie, and that lie is not far from the kind of lie that will take you to hell.
What is your case? Because you failed to prove the same in court as well.
Don't worry. Did you say we failed to prove the same in court? Are you aware that democracy in itself, the main pillar that holds democracy is free and fair election?
Exactly.
Good. Which means that anything.
Would you describe the 2020 elections as free and fair?
I cannot describe that as free and fair, even if I'm dead and laid in state.
All right.
I can't.
Okay.
Let's
move on. You see, no, I won't die.
Amen to that.
No,
say amen to that.
Me, say amen to what you have said. All right. But then today, God is the one that has killed me, not anybody.
Very well.
Yeah, that is my philosophy. So when I'm treating issues, I treat it with regard to only nature, not human beings.
Right.
Good.
Right.
Let's move on. You see, you cannot tell us this election is free and fair when the only returning officer of the electoral process is supposed to appear in court and mount the witness box. Ghanaians were denied. Look, let me tell you, the most important aspect of transparency in election resides in the bosom of the electoral commissioner. This is the only person who can tell us, according to the constitution of Ghana, she failed to mount witness box. And you are telling us to believe the rhetorics that your lawyers and others brings up, that we should believe that that is the reality on ground.
So what are you saying? That the legal process was flawed?
It was also flawed.
I see.
It was also flawed.
I see.
How can you go to court and then the electoral commissioner is supposed to mount witness box to give her account? This is someone who organized the election. He's the one who prepares the food.
Are you aware that the same legal process does not put duress or pressure on anybody to mount the witness box if they so do not wish?
Nobody is saying that they are putting
pressure. It applies to every Ghanaian.
Mr. Original.
So it is not.
There is an occupant of the office of the electoral commissioner. It's not a vacuum. Right. It is not an empty office. There's somebody who occupies that office. And you took an oath and swore that you are going to be responsible and accountable to the people of Ghana. And now do you want to tell me that when we are holding this show and all of a sudden I said something that is not right, you, the one who hosted the show, you tell me that you cannot give an account to what transpired on the show?
I cannot give an account, but based on that, let's remind our viewers and ourselves that anything our viewers say is strictly in their domain. We Adoatv, we do not have anything to do with that.
But at the end of the day, you cannot tell Supreme Court that I, Regional, will not come and speak to this issue. That is wrong.
Right.
That is what the electoral commissioner is trying to do. And the unanimous FC, that is the judicial, the Supreme Court judges that sat on this case. That is what they have come together to do. And that is what the NDC has been saying all this while.
Careful with your statements.
But what happens? Is it not unanimous decision?
Can you establish any?
Let me ask you.
Can you establish any facts to your claims that the Supreme Court judges came to sit there to do what?
When the learned Chatuchi Kata petitioned Supreme Court requesting that we want electoral commissioner to mount the witness box. What was the decision of the Supreme Court? They all agreed, and they denied Ghanaians.
They all agreed.
You get it?
Let him make his statement.
You get it? They denied Ghanaians of the fact that the woman has to be accountable to them. Now, what they are telling us is that the woman can only be accountable to the justices of the Supreme Court, of which the taxes that she used to conduct the election, the salaries that we pay that the lady and her people are all monies from the taxpayers' side. So you cannot tell we Ghanaians that the woman cannot mount the witness box. It is wrong. And that is also part of transparency.
You know that in courts, it is for the lawyers of the defendants and the other party to argue their points out. Now, it was the lawyers of the Electoral Commission that were able to break that request and defend their cause, and subsequently the judges agreed to that. So if you want to cross the bar to the other side and blame them for denying what's not, I mean, they were only agreeing to the arguments at hand. So I don't know how come you as a party couldn't present your case substantially.
I don't know whether you are trying to tell me or you are denying me my right to air my view.
I am not. I am moderator of the show,
and I'm telling you that
it is in my domain to put you right when you are not going accordingly.
Good. Now, whatever I have said here is what transpired at the Supreme Court. Was the woman called to mount the witness?
Maybe you didn't understand the processes, which is why I'm also shedding light on it. It's for the sake of the viewers.
Sure, sure. But I'm asking that. Do we have any law that prohibits the woman to be accountable to Ghanaians? We don't have any law like that that prohibits the woman from being accountable.
You should know that accountability cannot be rendered only in the box.
Yeah, of course. You see, let me tell you, when she had that platform, if I were to be her, I would admit there that the election, yes, of course, there has been some achievement and there has been some failures. But you denied that there has been no failures. Now, when you are putting out a statement that the international community is now taking Ghana's election as a case study, what then do you seek to achieve? This election was characterized by killings. It was characterized by chaotic moves. It was disastrous. And it was a lot of, disorganized activities that went on. All these issues has to be holistically looked at. You don't sideline.
In comparison, are you saying this in comparison to previous elections that we've had?
Is it the issue is that when you are growing as a state, and at a level that we are as Ghana, when they are talking about democracies in Africa, Ghana stands out. Every country, almost every country,
and our democracy is also a case study to some international.
And they like to look at this. This same democracy, which hovers around electoral processes to proud itself, is now tainted with killings. Because last election we went to court, it means that automatically this election too we should go to court. If you want us to be comparing whatever we are doing now to the past, then there will be no way that we are going to grow.
Now, we speak about our democracy as an emblem to the African continent. Now, you mentioned the freeness and fairness of the election also being part of democracy, and I'm happy that now if I don't know why after making that statement you go back to ask why we decide to go back and forth, I mean, to and fro our courts, institutions to argue out. I mean, the NDC could have, I mean, as you tout yourself, the forebearers of democracy.
Sure.
Why didn't you just accept in good faith that the EC has done its job and allow the elections be?
You see, going to court, okay, contributes to the electoral growth and development of a state of democracy.
Solid.
But couldn't we have prevented going to the court? What would have prevented going to the court was not done by the Electoral Commission.
Okay.
So their failure at that line, they should also accept that. We were in this country when we received news that there were stamped ballot papers that are having the original stamp of the Electoral Commission. Even if it is alleged, what has the Electoral Commission come out to say to that effect? We were in this country leading to the processes leading to the election. Civil societies, political parties have always been calling on the EC, let this be done, let this be done. What attention have they paid to that? Well, we should not pretend to sit here as though we are not men of balls. Look, whatever I will say, if you take me to jail, let me go to jail, that my children will come and enjoy something better. So I will speak to the truth, even if it's Mr. Akufo-Addo, the one that is wrong. I'll tell him in the face that, look, Mr. Akufo-Addo, you are wrong.
Right.
The same blood that runs through him, probably even my blood is more fresh and stronger than his.
Oh, I mean,
but he's an old man. My blood is fresher than my dad.
This same statement has caused a lot. That someone is an old man and no. Are you aware? I won't hear that.
I have some issues to talk about that.
Very well. If you have some rebuttals, you can quickly go into that. Then
so this is a statement. I'm reading the statement, and then I will let him tell me who made that statement.
Okay.
There is no such thing as a perfect election, not even in countries whose democracies are more advanced than ours. It was our first attempt at biometric voting.
Okay.
This statement was made 1st October 2013 by. But do you know who made that statement?
Do you want to answer the video?
No.
Okay. All right.
That statement was made by former President John Mahama. He made that statement when he was asked about Giants 127,000 numbers about by African. There's a magazine called African Report.
Yes.
When you go, you find
yes.
This is what he said. He acknowledged that, in fact, in a court where there was a 5-4 ruling. 5-4 ruling. You see, before we even went to court as a party, you could see Dr. Baumia, his press conferences that he held, showing data, figures, where the issues were pink sheets. In fact, he had a lot of names. You and I were not there, and all those things. Afeja mounted the witness box because they made a case, and the court said, "Oh, okay." Because, granted, the NDC's issue in court, they were asked, what was your figure? Trust me, if they were able to have answered that question, and if you followed the court's procedures, it would have compelled the Electoral Commission to come and give a counter figure. Because you are in court, what do you want? Okay, this person has done this and has led to me losing the elections. Okay, so what is the figure that you think you collected? Because you claimed in court that you had agents there. Agents gave you figures. So what were your figures that you collected? I don't have them. Okay, so then why should the person come? That means you are fishing for information. That is not the work of the court. Because you should have the information or data, and then you can say that, oh, this is my data. So the person should come out and answer to my information, whether it's true or not.
Right.
Then the court decides. Now you have not given any figure to the court. How does the court say that what you brought is true? We in 2012 gave figures, and it had a split decision, almost a split decisions in the court. Somewhere it was only one that had a 6-3 ruling. But all the issues over voting, unsigned pick sheet, we had 5-4 ruling, 5-4 ruling, and it's just one. But just when you sent it in 2020, the same court is telling you that 9-0 outright, your issue should be thrown out. And you sit here and create the impression that the judges are also out there for you. Trust me, I said, like, and I'm repeating it, the NDC does not seem to be ready for power. Because if they are, the lessons that we learned in 2012, they could have come to us so that we teach them how we correlate figures and make sure that it is not just the EC who have figures to provide. We also will have reliable figures, which will be in tune with other media houses who also have these figures. So the figures that we are having and giving to our people are not cooked up figures, are not figures that we sat in our comfort zone, in our houses and dreamt about. These are figures that reflect exactly what has happened at the police station level. So now, if the NDC is not ready for power, they should allow us. But 2024, inshallah, we will continue. We will continue and run the country better for them because they won't do anything.
Right. So now, the Electoral Commissioner, she made a statement about the lives that were lost. She says that it is out of no negligence on the side of the Electoral Commission. I'm not quoting, I'm paraphrasing her. It says that it was not out of any negligence on the side of the Electoral Commission that people lost their lives. Although she admits that lives were lost, she admits that even if it was one life lost, that is one too many. Do you agree that it wasn't entirely as a result of in any form of negligence from the side of the Electoral Commission, because we know that in the electoral process, as the Electoral Commissioner's call for security. Now, it is the nature of security that would also determine whether there is peace, law and orderliness. Can we therefore totally and entirely decouple the EC from the happenings?
Okay.
Especially, I'm talking about the killings.
Okay. So, if I understand the Electoral Commission right, and in my attempt to respond to your question, you see, the killings, the Electoral Commission is like a referee. Just like when you go to a football match, there's a referee who sees to the game. His work there is the game. To punish offenders, give red card, yellow card, accept a goal, and all that. Now, there are security people at the sports stadium. These security people are out there. Some of them even do not watch the game. They are facing the crowd to make sure two or one or people are not causing confusions there. So the security is there, and mostly when something is happening on the field, the security, like a footballer, somebody running onto the so an invited guest running onto the pitch. You see the security man, the referee standing somewhere. The security man will just jump the person and then take the person away. Everybody has roles and responsibilities. Just because you're in an election doesn't mean the security of this country has ceased. You understand? The police are there, the military are there. Granted, the NDC won the 2020 elections. They will still be working with the police we have now. They won't sack them and bring new ones. So that issue that happened had a lot of even political influence in it. And it's just like I said.
Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, you see, there were reports, according to the committee, there were reports that some political parties told their people that they should come to the coalition center because apparently somebody was trying to change figures during elections. And when those, when you, like I said, the other time I said this on one of the TV stations I visited, the lives of the people should matter to every politician. Because you see, it's an election that figures are going out there and you are losing. You do not have to create the impression that, they are trying to, when you do that, anybody, because a political party has followers. And not all followers will decide that, what you are saying, I won't buy the idea, like they do or die comments, the president. No, a lot of people are ready. In fact, yesterday I was watching on one of the TV stations an NDC communicator making very, 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 very sad statement. You understand? Because MPP will not be in power forever, but we pray will be in power for long. You understand? But to create the impression that you will never come back to power, and hence you are always going to lose the election. So any lose of election means that the NDC, the election was rigged. No, that is not the situation here. You understand? So they created the impression that they were trying to rig the election. So the people came, and according to if you see, there were short videos of it where the people were peddling stones into. In fact, they were not just the EC people; they were into the building, peddling stones, and even there's some report that suggested that people were holding guns, firing. You understand? So ordinarily, like I said, it is not right to want to even justify that people have died. But we said the coalition center, you have party agents there. You really need all your constituency members rushing there to do what? Creating the impression. If they rigged, the courts were there. Just get your data and go to the court. You didn't do that because you didn't have figures. You were not prepared for elections. So what you do is to waste people's lives, cause them to go and come and run and make noise and distractions at places where they were uninvited. It wasn't that they were beating an NDC person in there. It wasn't that they had sacked an NDC person there. She went, and in fact, it was said that a news reporter, a journalist, also had a role to play. Sat in the studios and did mention that they were trying to rig elections at the center. So the people rushed there. You understand? That was, and so obviously when you do that, there were human beings there. Granted my brother was working at the EC, my brother is there. He has a family. He has to be protected too. So ordinarily you have soldiers coming there to come and protect these things. And then when you are peddling stones and shooting, what do you expect?
Right.
So when we want these things, when we want to reduce that and not even have it, nobody wants it. Just like Electoral Commission is saying that it is not something that they want to be proud of, and that they hope that. I think that it does not end at the doorstep of just the Electoral Commission. It doesn't also end at the doorstep of the security agencies. It also goes the long way to end at the doorstep of the political parties. Because you do not go and feed your people lies, which will get people killed. Look at the issue of Kaka, the guy who lost his life in Nigeria. Look at the information that came out. It was told to the people that the guy died because of his activism against the government, which has come out from the committee's report. That is
let's not move away from.
What I'm just trying to say is that political parties owe proper information, the spread of proper information to its people, so that people do not waste their lives or lose their lives.
Well, Samuel, thank you. Now, let me come to. I don't want us to touch too much on the matter of those who lost their lives, but quickly, your comments or your thoughts about the EC's stand on that very violence that occurred.
Good. You see,
let us before you let us be sensitive, especially because we're speaking about people who have lost their lives.
Yes, it is because some of us are still in pain. Why some people will lose their lives as a result of election. That is why the living has to learn sense. The living has to take responsibility so that we will not lose more lives.
Certainly.
So we are not going to pretend as though all is well and be hiding. Then tomorrow there will be a lot of chaos characterizing our elections once again. No. The one who conducted national election or elections in this country is the Electoral Commission. And the Electoral Commission has to be responsible to us as citizens. If they fail to do that, whether NDC is in power or MPP is in power or PNC is in power, we need to point out that fact that the EC is responsible to us, the people of Ghana, and that is final. No political party or otherwise. Look at what transpired at this police station. Even the preceding events leading to the main election, how was that managed? The Ayawaso West Wagon elections, the by-elections. How did we manage that system? We didn't manage it well, and that metamorphosed into the main election. So, as a citizen, concerned citizen sitting here, I would first blame it that look, there have been little fire spikes that we failed to work out well, and those flames came together and becomes a bigger bend on us. When you are going into election, it is the Electoral Commission that requests the services of the security service. The military, the police will not wake up and say there's an election, we are going there. The EC has to request for their service. Now, can you tell me, maybe I'm not aware of, that leading to the elections, the EC has organized electoral chaos management training for these electoral, these police officers and the military that went to those stations.
The EC is supposed to conduct elections.
It's supposed to conduct elections.
When it comes to provision of security, they refer to the state security apparatus, which is well trained for that.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
It is not in the layer of the EC to train security personnel that are already trained. And so I want you to speak to
you see, Mr. Reginald, look at this from this. Look at it from this angle. Every police officer is trained to manage any form of chaos,
internal aggression.
You get it. But when we are going into elections, of which our by-election, internal small elections were all characterized by, chaotic moves. What system has the Electoral Commission put in place leading to the main election? That is what we have to look at. Secondly, this election that has also come with these killings and other things, what have we learned from it, and what is she telling us that we have learned from it? We are going to work on this and put this in place. The failure that we exhibited in the past for not taking a specific election and accepting that it was characterized by chaotic incidents. As a result, let us not pride ourselves that we have declared elections, people contended the elections, they went to court and all those things, it ended, and then today we are in the same country. We shouldn't always look at that side. Let us be bold and say, okay, what triggered this killing? What triggered this argument? What happened at this end? That is the system that we have to look at, because that one is more important. The achievement has not caused us anything bad. We will celebrate it. But the things that also disorganize the electoral processes, what is the Electoral Commission doing towards that? That is why I came back to tell you that, look, when the police are supposed to visit, I was at Nkonya, though policemen are trained on how to keep situations or inflating situations under control, when they are going to the Nkonya Alavanyo side, do you know there has to be a briefing and there has to be systemic training attached to whatever they have achieved already? One, the people you are going to, you need to know their cultural background and how they react, the kind of language they speak, the things that is causing the mayhem, that you don't go and attach yourself to such things.
Certainly.
That is what I'm asking. That has the Electoral Commission as a body been able to put out all this training elections?
I think that is what you're getting wrong. These are things that are also available to the security forces. The security forces are aware. The security forces are aware of the demographics. They are aware of cultural and practices. They are aware of almost all of these things. That it forms what is called intelligence. And it is peculiar to our security system. So maybe yes, training is very important, but when we say that it is the EC's responsibility to train the police or the security forces on such matters, then we may not be hitting the nail on the head. Hit the nail on the head and say that the security services should train or reinforce the thoughts of these security forces that will be deployed to some of these areas, and then we'll be making headway.
Yes. When we take the banking sector, for example, police officers who are deployed at some banks alongside some security companies and other stuff, the police understand the kind of systems that go on there.
Yes.
When you go to, let's say, filling stations, they understand things that goes on there. But the owners of those systems also needs to meet these police people and agree on some way. Let me ask you.
I understand.
Let me
there are times you go to the bank, the police would help you fill forms amongst other things. These are extra services because the banks, yes, they have conversations
with customer relations through them to the people.
Exactly.
Now, my concern is that we went through election. It is alleged that police shot into crowds that led to the killings of other people. That led to the death of some citizens. What is the statement of the Electoral Commission of the killings of these people that came as a result of election? Don't forget that we were not having how do you call it, Homework Festival before they shot the people. We were having elections. So you cannot distance yourself from those killings and be saying that it is only the security services that have to come out. Yes, they have to. Even the police owe us that responsibility to tell us what led to all these things. But listening to her carefully, she has no and not even any part of her statement stated that these killings, their statement has not spoken to that effect.
Great. So now we are wrapping up. Samuel, I want to find out from you. Can we then entirely say, I mean, looking at the killings which happened, I mean, taking cue from Mr. Ajukache, taking cue from the fact that these killings happened during an election, we take the pronouncement of the announcement of the electoral results in 24 hours from Madame Jean Mensah herself, which could not materialize. Some say it is an indication that indeed the processes that she laid down and hoped would lead to a 24-hour announcement of election results indicated that the entire process itself was flawed. You take a look at the deaths that occurred during the elections, and it mars what could have been an entirely, spotless election, conduct of elections. I'm not going to ask you what we think about that. Moving on, it seems that there has been this nature of relinquishing, or for the lack of a better word, our blames or our faults and not accepting them, and then we make it seem it's somebody else's fault. And that nature prevents us from looking at the causes and addressing them head on. For instance, like he said, last year there were deaths. Previous election there were deaths. The nature of acceptance and ways to ensure that it wouldn't happen again led to what happened in 2020. Now in 2020 we are being told that it was no fault of the EC. Whose fault is it? Which means that this same nature could lead us into 2024 and same manner of deaths may occur. What would be the way forward in just 2 minutes?
Okay, so I think during one of my submissions on this same point, I've mentioned some of the things that we should look at. Sincerity from the part of political parties, whilst informing their people on what is happening. You see, like I said, and I'll still stand by what I said, the Electoral Commission is only a referee. What I know is that when you are coming to have an election, what the Electoral Commission does is that where there are security high tension points, throw crowd. Sometimes the military, their presence there alone, just cool things down. They just passing through. Sometimes they don't even have to come to the center. They just pass through, and then it calms things down. Takra, it address one of the flashpoints in Ghana when it comes to elections issues and then election violence. So what Electoral Commission does, and I believe this woman did, is to inform the police, which already the police know. Even before the elections, these areas came out. Exactly. The public was aware. The police were also aware. Briefly, let's wrap up. So in a situation like that, yes, that is the part of the Electoral Commission. That's what the Electoral Commission can do. It is up to the security agencies. We can have a understanding between political parties, both ruling and opposition, that when it comes to elections, we all step aside.
Okay.
And let the electoral commission do their work with the security agencies like the police.
Of course, with each party's representatives in all of those polling centers, and allow them do their work. Right.
Without any security issues and all that. Because I believe the court systems and the doors are open.
Right.
Nobody can kill you and go scot-free in this country. So if somebody does something like that or rigs an election, and then you have your facts, you have your data, that is what you came to do.
All right, Mr. Amwa, thank you very much. My producer is knocking my head in my ear. Mr. Ajokache, quickly, in a minute, way forward.
We cannot also always be having election with security personnel standing as though it's a war-torn area. We should get to a level where we can just go through election as though it's a normal thing and come back home.
In some areas, you saw that the security personnel were just standing at one corner.
Yes,
and everything. I was very happy about that.
Let me tell you, my branch in the Biakura constituency, we don't even have a policeman.
Right. So
we just have our election.
Right. But so the way forward is that. You see, the way forward is that
the EC has to look at the deficiencies that characterize the 2020 election.
Great.
And then look for reforms to solve those issues than beating her chest all the time, sometimes tickling herself to laugh, which is wrong. But we also want to tell them that it is either they go by the way that will give us some nice election, or we would have to do everything to protect the ballot box when it is 2024.
The ballot box was not attacked in 2020.
Well, that is what brought
thank you very much, gentlemen. Mr. Ajokache, I'm very grateful for your time. Mr. Amwa, I'm very grateful to have you on the show as well. So we've heard from our political reps. We exhausted all the time discussing the aspect of the EC chair's presentation at that ECOWAS meeting that was held in the central region on Wednesday. Perhaps when time permits, we would look into what the president himself has said at the same meeting. But obviously the electoral process and electoral concerns are not something we can put aside. In fact, we need more time than enough to discuss some of these things so that we will get to an end results. Mr. Bernard Amwa represented the New Patriotic Party, and Mr. Israel McLean Ajokache represented the National Democratic Congress, and together we've had a more nationalistic view towards this. So we pray that the EC puts measures in place to ensure that all of those misgivings and misdoings that happened in 2020 will not repeat in 2024. Well, we're still in the month of October. Now, the month of October is designated for breast cancer awareness. So, gentlemen, when you go home, help a woman save herself from breast cancer. Yes, it's all. If you will stay with us, you will learn some of these things, because we are going to speak about life and hope after breast cancer and find out how Pink for Africa is providing support for breast cancer patients. We'll be speaking to a survivor of breast cancer on the show this morning with Princess Ijoma. Do stay tuned as we bring you more education. My name is Reginald Adi, and I'm pleasured to have served you during the newspaper review segment. A very good morning to my very good friend, Mr. Libby. Have a lovely day.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Hello everyone, my name is Adoatv, a proud ambassador for Sonotech's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's hashtag Pinktober, hashtag Sonotech Goes Pink. Now from the 1st October to the 31st October 2021, at any of the 3 branches of Sonotech, Tema, Osu and West Hills Malls, we are gathering together to get free screening. Yes, I said it's free. And that's not all we have for you. We also have 20% off mammogram testing and 50% off ultrasound. Let's go pink from October the 1st to the 31st, 2021 at Osu, Tema, and West Hills Mall, all Sonotech branches. We are giving hope to save a life. See you there.
Yeah, CB will make up now. I'm correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you CB men and women's capsules na ye nim ne dada. And one year packaging na ye no fefe.
Wow! What a packaging. CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is all. And you also no mood any bianza na wakodo mpegi.
Share apemfo any abata woman kwada no fo. Any kwada won di fie du ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Asatek, so your kunini roofing industry nim enti Saudi roofing na wadwen Asatek. Asatek wo quality long span roofing sheeter esan nail free. Try say ehia so de dadoabo mu na nso etim wodan no so a pampe amframa and ehum entumi nya no hwe. Asatek quality long span roofing sheets with beautiful bright colors with anti-fading and anti-rusting properties. Try say every na ache na empanso enti wo ma 30-year warranty. Terms and conditions apply. Asatek quality long span roofing sheet dear. Eye madan bia, say a warehouse, school, hotel, hospital, sorry, ana say a wawufi. Use Asatek quality nail free long span roofing sheet no be. Na wo dan do be gina so na yine ho. Your delivery services papa bia. Emfa honde for akwan wo Asatek bema wo saka order between 3 and 5 working days. Wo VIP delivery services so a 1 day pe na wo saka. Hwehwe Asatek achi kwan Watermark 22 Meridian Road woni Cocoa Board Warehouse na pen Takrade Efiekuma number 9 wo pen Efiekuma Fidelity Bank no Water Region so wo wakache Tatome GN Bank and Chen Hope. Asatek, sheltering you for life.
Water, but you not get your mouth. And that's all I order. The rock you are fire.
Malaria nti aba yi wo yejuma bono.
What you have to figure.
Malaria therefore ya o. Enti awo ahire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Apa CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria nti a ontimi ni.
Onia and na ho ema we no biara to wo. So we malaria test. Na bi wo mu a. Edra bede wa ene CB Malakio. Ye dinu na ne hahama. Na keka bom asone so aye CB Malakio. Edra we so de. Anya no kra o. Aye tata she.
Edra yi nyema apemfo. Abate a wo ma wo manufo. Ene nkwada a woni mfie dumie.
Suziana. Wow, oh de wunya.
FD ahwehwe saa ejedie nkrato yi mu agye atomu se eye.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 05092 57754 020 9494 or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Was the newspaper discussions. I know you had a thing or two to say there, but we here right now have something different on our table. And as Reginald Addy informed you here, I know you equipped in just some 1 or 2 sentences there to prepare you for this segment, but I'm in pink, and I told you earlier that it's still the Pinktober, the month for breast cancer awareness, and I'm not going to do this by myself. I don't think I have any experience when it comes to this particular subject. So I have a wonderful and elegant lady right here. She's a beautiful guest, a woman of substance. She's also a mother. Yes, she's a wife. She is an entrepreneur and the owner of Juice Studios. I hope I'm right. You correct me if I'm wrong. In New Jersey. She is also the president of Pink for Africa. If you have heard of it, if you haven't, this is a good place to hear of it and to know how Pink for Africa can help and how you can also help Pink for Africa. Yeah, it is an NGO that supports breast cancer victims. It is an NGO that supports breast cancer victims, but I am highly favored to be able to introduce my guest, this lady of substance, as also a survivor of breast cancer. She's no other person than Madame or Mrs. Juliet Mills Lutrot. Mrs. Juliet Mills? Yes. I know I'm not seeing you, my viewers are not seeing you for the first time. This is not the first time. Yes. This is actually our second meeting, but I know they are highly happy to see you this morning.
I am humbled. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much
for having me.
When we see you, we feel refreshed, we feel encouraged. When I see breast cancer survivors, I feel encouraged, because sometimes we think that there is no coming back from cancer whenever people hear the word cancer. But seeing you brings so much hope. It brings so much encouragement. So thank you for your life. Thank you for fighting.
Thank you to God for my life. Amen. There's no question about it. Yes. I think that to whom much is given, much is required.
So we're going straight, and today she's going to share her life with us, how she started the road to recovery when it comes to breast cancer. And the first question I have for her is, when and at what age were you diagnosed?
I was diagnosed at 40. I had just turned 40, and I live in the US. So at 40, there's usually an annual mammogram you get after your physical. So every year you get a physical, but when you turn 40, you need to go get a mammogram. So I was scheduled for a routine mammogram, and I got called back for an ultrasound, got called back for an MRI, and then it was discovered.
So how long did that process take? Just this?
So I got called back for the mammogram within a week. I went back. Then I got called in within a few more, probably a week or two, juggling schedule to get in for my ultrasound. And the reason why they called me back was because there was a section of my breast that was dense. So sometimes women have dense tissue where they cannot see through. So they felt the ultrasound would give a more clarification. So then I got called back in. Then they said, no, we need an MRI. So my left breast passed. So the right breast was what needed to go in for the MRI. So when I went in for the MRI, the technician made a mistake and checked the left breast that had already cleared mammogram and ultrasound. So when she made the mistake, when we caught the mistake, she also found something in the left breast. So at that point, we felt it was important to also MRI the right breast, which was originally the prescription to go in for. So we got the right breast checked. We found 2 little sections that were questionable. So I had to go in and do a biopsy. So a biopsy is when they put a needle in the breast, in the section that they found the tumor, they pull tissue samples from there, go and test it to conclude whether you have breast cancer or not. So the right breast was cleared. The left breast came back positive.
You know, I was going to ask this when you said it was the right breast rather, because I am doing a little research on this. I got to know that most of the time it's the left breast.
It is.
So when you said right breast, then that question, there was a light bulb moment there.
Yes.
Then it came back.
It is. Most of the time
to the left.
Yes.
Whoa. How did that feel for you? Tell us the emotion.
I got a call from the doctor to come into the office on February 14th that year. It was 2008.
On Val's Day?
On Valentine's Day, yes. My husband was away on a business trip and I had the flu. I got hit with the flu very bad. So I was crawled up in bed. So I got up, got myself together, went to the doctor's office. The minute he said it came back positive, I don't think I heard anything from that point. So he talked about the importance of doing a lumpectomy. So going in and taking the lump out right away. And I said, okay, I'm going to go think about it and I'll come back to him. So I went home and I went straight to bed. I wasn't feeling well. I went straight to bed. So the next day when I woke up, I remember laying in the bed and everything hitting me as to, okay, my husband was coming home that day. I am a mother of 3 boys. Yesterday was my son's 30th birthday. So you're looking at your kids and wondering, wait, everything going through your mind. You're a human being. So, and I'm the kind of person, I'm not down long. Anything that puts me down will put me down for a very short period of time.
Just a moment of that. We want to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, there is more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
So thank you for staying tuned. We are back as promised. It was a short one. So going back to what you were saying, yeah.
So basically,
about how you felt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So again, as a human being, you're going to feel that what's happening to me? It is the C word. We're all afraid of the cancer word. But what few days after that, my husband got back. We talked about it. And my husband is a very technical person. He researches everything. But for some reason, he never researched cancer, breast cancer. He never went to the computer to read about it, to do anything about it. No, he didn't. And I realized that when something like this happens to any woman, it affects the entire family.
Yes.
My children were affected differently. My husband was affected differently. My family, my sisters and brothers were affected. My friends were affected differently. So everybody walks away very different, and there is a little bit of fear. So you that is happening to, you should be the one who should be the strongest. You lead the way. You determine how everybody feels.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So by the third day I got up, I put all my results on my dining table. My MRI, my screens, everything. I looked at everything myself. And I said, okay, this is going on, this is here, this is here. I need a second opinion. And I went to seek a second opinion. The woman happened to be a doctor, a female.
Okay.
And I asked her, I said, if I'm your little sister, what would you say to me? I said, I'll tell you to remove the entire breast. Don't do a lumpectomy. Okay. And I said, why? She said, because of the type of cancer you have, it always comes back. And sometimes when it comes back, it's too late. You are only 40. You have your whole life ahead of you. Remove it and do reconstruction and move on. On my birthday, all of that took from February to April. By the time I did my research and did everything, April 14th, I went into surgery. It was on my birthday, the day I turned 40. So the doctor sang happy birthday and they pulled me right in.
Well, I'm wondering what that would feel like, because at least in the US, where you were giving alternatives.
Yes.
Lumpectomy or mastectomy, and then you also had someone, let me say, knowledgeable, good, who was also devoted and committed to your treatment, who would explain things for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So let me say, can I say that it was more advantageous for you being, I know that that time was it would be a very bad time to ever say that.
No, it's not. I'll tell you why. 80% of the women in America survive breast cancer, if not higher than that. So for me, I felt very privileged to be diagnosed in America.
Okay.
Because I knew my chances of survival was higher. There are so many support groups. There is so much that comes at you to be there for you, to walk you through. And you are encouraged to seek a second opinion. A lot of doctors in Ghana get very offended when you want to seek a second opinion. It's nothing personal, doc. We just want to be sure.
I mean, if there's anything personal,
exactly,
it's my end.
It's my life.
My life.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's my life.
So, you know, seeking the second opinion made me realize that the first doctor's choice to remove the lump was not the smart one.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I did a full mastectomy.
Wow. And how has that helped?
Oh, I'm alive. I'm here.
Amen.
There's no question. My scars are always a reminder that I'm here, that I'm a soldier. I went to the battle and I came back.
All right. What about your family? Do you have any family history? Was there any?
So in my family, no, there was no family history. It's one of the things Pink for Africa encourages, because in our culture as Africans, we do not share our health history. So it's so important to share your health history. It could be that I had maybe my grandmother's aunt, my grandmother's sister who got it and I didn't know. It could be that my mother's cousin got it and I didn't know, because we don't share history. We keep everything. We think everything is the work of the devil. The devil is so tired, huh? The devil is tired of being blamed for things he probably didn't even have that power to do.
Yes, I can understand that he probably did not even have the power to do. And by that statement also, I just want to encourage Ghanaians everywhere that when we talk about having a family history, medical records, I know Ghanaians, we are used to changing hospitals as at when we go, we don't even, I don't even know if we use the record thing very well. So make sure you maintain a particular hospital. You can also request to even see your own medical record, so that even if there is no record for you, at least it lets them know that you know what you're about, and if they have to put one in place, they do it not just for your sake, it's for your children. I mean, it goes right down. So I think that this will be also the right place for us to also bring awareness to medical, the instilling of medical records in hospitals and even with us ourselves. That's good. So we continue. You've heard of people having this family history thing a lot, especially I know in the US you have it there, but back here in Ghana we do not have it. Is there anything, especially when I look at the US again, when they try to retrace their backgrounds, some even go as well as coming to Ghana to come and find a relative for certain other cancers like leukemia and co. What do you think when it comes to our background here in Ghana? What do you think can be done?
I think that as women, we hold a certain responsibility to our health, and making sure that the community in which we live in terms of our children, our nieces, our aunties, our grandmothers, we share the knowledge of health history. Because since I was diagnosed at 40, all my nieces, everybody in my family has to check 10 years prior to my diagnosis. So when they turn 30, they should start checking seriously. Now, self-examination, they should start at 12 years old. The minute you have breast, start to check. Let your fingers have a memory. So let your fingers start to memorize your breast tissue. That way, if there's anything different, you can pick it up. Some husbands find their wives lumps from an intimate moment that turns into that. So I think that as women, we should really learn about our bodies. We are raised culturally not to sexualize our bodies. And it's very bad. It's very wrong. As a woman, God created you to have all kinds of feeling all on your body. You should know them and you should explore them and you should enjoy them. It is how God created you. It is honoring Him. You shouldn't dim yourself because culturally we think it's wrong. It's not right.
So mothers should also go ahead to teach their children,
should teach their daughters how to self-examine.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's a
very good one.
Yeah. Did you get any? The last time you were here, you did mention that you talked about the family support. I want you to stress on it again, because here, I think we keep it silent when we even get to know, because we don't want others to know, not because we think they will feel bad. Yes, the stigma. Because of how we feel they will look at us, so let's talk more about support from the family.
So I think that sadly, when it comes to support and it comes to stigmas, it doesn't even matter how educated you are or how exposed you are. A lot of women find that they don't, because it's a dark place, they don't want to share that dark place. What I want to share with women is that in that dark place, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And we need to share, we need to be, as women, again, support each other. There is too much talk of, she slept with somebody's husband, that's why God is punishing her. The little conversations that go on with things that you may have done why you got sick.
Punishment.
It's wrong. Nobody wishes breast cancer on themselves, and it is nothing you did wrong. But there are ways to be able to prevent by eating right, taking better care of yourself, less stress, all the little things that require
that's my final question for you at the end. So
yes, the support is really, I remember when I was going through chemo after my surgery, my sister used to drive 3 hours to come to me to give me a bath, because she didn't want my husband to see me like that. And my husband was going to see me like that. I was the mom who, nudity in my family is nothing. It's your body, it's beautiful. So my boys, my 3 sons, see me walking around the house, it's no big deal. So now that I was looking different, it was important to gradually transition everybody into my new look and how that's going to...
Yeah, so there will be no shocks.
So there will be no shocks.
Yeah.
So, you know, the support is really important.
Okay. So let's talk about your treatment now.
Okay.
So how the stages of your treatment?
So after my mastectomy, my surgery, when I went through that, what they do is they immediately put expanders into your chest because they remove everything. So your nipple is gone, everything is gone. So they put expanders in immediately to begin to stretch the skin. The process of stretching the skin is you go to the hospital and they inject the expanders and they put fluid in it, and slowly every week it slowly expands you to even up. Then when that is done, they remove the expanders and put in the silicone breast to form your breast. Then they tattoo the darker part. Then they pinch the skin and stitch it and create a little bit of a raise for you to look as close to a breast as possible. When you're healed, then I started chemo. I had to go through 6 months of chemo.
I know chemo is not an easy procedure for anyone.
No, for me, the difficult part was that it was a part of the chemo that was injection. They injected me a day after the chemo, and that was rough. That was tough. So I lost all my hair. I lost hair on every part of my body. My nails all became dark. My feet became dark. My mouth was all sore. But I knew, you know, one of the things I kept repeating to myself was, no condition is permanent. This too shall pass.
Amen. That's the warrior spirit. Yeah. So that's the warrior spirit. And you do have beautiful hair. It's back. It has passed.
I've cut it so many times in the last 12, 13
So it is not the end. It's not a death sentence.
It's not.
Yes.
That's all.
So talking about chemo, I know even without anything, there's the usual injections, I'm afraid.
Why?
I'm afraid of injections. I don't know.
They're so little. It's just a little needle sticking you.
So I'm thinking through the chemotherapy 6 months. Is it that every week it's a weekly thing? So every week
it was a weekly thing that I would go.
But then I know people usually go lean. They are not able to
gained
digest.
weight.
Oh,
yeah. I blew up to about 300 pounds.
How's that?
Yeah. The chemo, the hormones, and the different
Imbalance.
medications that was given to me
Alright.
blew me up.
Besides your family and then the hospital, was there any other social network? Because I know US does have some of those things.
I didn't join any support groups because I had such great support from my family.
All right.
But my friends came together. I have a very good friend who at the time was an oncology nurse who was very upset with me because I did not talk to her about what I was going through. But I remember sitting with her and having a very intimate conversation and explaining to her that I didn't need you as a nurse. I needed you as my friend. So you do your job as a nurse when you go to your hospital to work. But when you come to me, we are friends.
All right.
So my friends were all very supportive. My business, my staff was extremely supportive.
Okay, so I believe that what Ghanaian women also want to know, going through all these, besides the chemo and then the self-image, those challenges, are there any other challenges? Because I'm foreseeing the time and what impact it will have on your business if you should be a working woman.
Absolutely. So at the time I was running 2 hair salons. I'm a hairstylist by trade. And it took an impact on it. There's no question. I pulled back for 2 years. I needed to pull back myself. At the time, I was at the peak of my career. I was working. I was traveling through the Caribbean. I was teaching. I was working Fashion Week. I was doing BET. I was doing CBS. I was all over the place. And all of that had to stop to allow me to pull myself back. So yes, it does have a financial impact. Your medical bills are no joke because if you wait too long, if you're not diagnosed early, I was lucky to have been diagnosed early, but because I went through reconstructive surgery, my diagnosis was picked up through the MRI. So the MRI machine had to do my biopsy because the regular doctor couldn't do the biopsy. So all those created a lot of bills, and it's very expensive.
Very expensive.
So it's one of the things I encourage in Ghana, that early detection doesn't only save your life, it saves your pocket.
Yeah.
When you wait too long, it's going to cost you so much more for your life.
So that said, I believe I have exhausted my personal questions. If you have any, remember that our WhatsApp line is there. You can send your questions coming in. So you did last week when you were here, you did say that this was a privilege because it helped you to do something you would not have done. It tuned your attention to this particular job or task, that is Pink for Africa. Yes. We want to know more about Pink for Africa. How it started.
Pink for Africa started when, during my recovery, I started a handbag collection. I was designing handbags because I was home. I needed to put my head to something. So I started the handbag collection. When I launched it, and a gentleman came to interview me, and one of the questions he asked me was, if you did not live in America, will you be alive today? And that bothered me. And I didn't answer it properly because I really couldn't answer it. And it really made me want to look back home where I was born and raised to see what the statistics are for women going through breast cancer, what is going on. I was coming home once or twice a year anyway, so I figured when I come, I'll educate women. I'll start with my own friends and then move out that way. And I came for my first trip, did just that among my friends, and then when I went back, I remember talking to a client of mine who's Ghanaian and a lawyer. I was doing her hair, and I said, you know, Susan, I would love to start an NGO. And I said, and we will be Pink for Africa.
That's it.
And it started right there. And I registered it in the States. 90%, 80% of what the money I raise comes from the United States. So starting next year, we're going to focus on Ghana as well, because there are places when I go to ask for money, they tell me, what are you at home doing for Ghana? So during my recovery, when I was designing the handbags, 20% of my handbag sale profit goes to Pink for Africa.
Wow.
It's what does the legwork and the groundwork behind me flying over, me renting a car, me driving, me paying my assistant, my photographer, my all of that. So we have that base support. That way, whatever people donate, 100% can go towards the organization and to helping people. So this year we brought to Ghana. We've been here 10 years. In the last 10 years, we've donated over $100,000 to between Okomfanochi and Kolebu. We have donated over 300 prosthetics. This year alone, we brought in 500 prosthetics. And we're going to go through all of next year donating. Every time a woman comes up, we're going to make her feel a little bit better with her prosthetics. So again, Pink for Africa has been something that I know in the deepest of me that it will be one of the best things I ever did for my legacy and for my family's legacy. Yeah, you know.
So are the prosthetics the only thing you do? What more?
We do the prosthetics. We educate. We've been we donate financial support to women. So if you go to Kolebu and Okomfanochi and you need support, we started initially with once a year coming to donate in October. Now we're doing every 3 months. We're donating. So if you get caught in the cycle of that 3 months, we will be able to help. Unfortunately, we're not set up. We're working our way to people donating more. That way we can show up every month. And be able to help. There are so many women. Our future goal is to find a home, because so many women come from the outskirts of Accra to Kolebu or to Okomfanochi. We will need 2 homes, one in Kumasi and one in Accra. If somebody wants to donate, I'll be very happy to take that. That we can turn into a place for them to sleep, and they can go back and forth to the hospital until they are done with because some of them sleep in the hospital, they sleep on the floor. There's no really proper accommodation for a lot of women. So to create a home that has clean bed, clean water for them to come and sleep and have a place to sleep, will give them something small to eat. while they're going through their treatments, that will mean so much. Okay. That will mean so much.
So I'm being told some of our viewers want to know. So I've been diagnosed. How do I reach? How do I contact Pink for Africa?
You've been diagnosed, depending on the hospital you're diagnosed with. Both Okonfa-Notche and Kolebu knows Pink for Africa very well. We have a relationship with them. Find out from them if through them you can get to us, because you can. If not, we are on all the social media platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram. If you Google pinkforafrica.org, we will be there. You can go to us and contact us from there, and we'll see how we can basically help you.
Okay. I was reading one of your talks, if I would even remember very well, but there's this particular thing I saw and I took note of it. Triple negative breast cancer. Triple negative. And when I hear with the word negative, it's already negative. And then a double threat is enough. But triple, it means that it's way gone. Would you please enlighten us on that?
So there's research. We're seeing more and more women in West Africa being diagnosed of this particular cancer. It's called the triple negative breast cancer. So the triple negative is 3 types of tumors in one lump.
Oh.
Yes. And this is predominant to West Africa. So for some reason, the women in West Africa are showing up more with this particular cancer. It is deadly. It kills us quickly. It also hits a lot of younger and younger people. So we want to be sure that, one, we are caught early. Early is key. That triple negative requires 3 different types of chemo into that area to be able to help you. Already, we don't have money for 1 chemo. How do we do 3? So I beg you, my sisters, early detection is everything. If we catch it early, the entire breast can be removed, and the chances of it coming back is less. So that you can grow old and watch your grandchildren around you.
So the 2 last things I wanted us to touch on was early detection, which you just mentioned.
Amazing.
And emotional support. How does Pink for Africa help when it comes to you? Because we know Ghana.
So emotional support, one of the things I beg our husbands. I've never seen a woman leave her husband when her husband is sick. And I've heard doctors say in my 10 years of doing Pink for Africa, I've heard doctors tell me, when you go to the men's ward, there are so many women next to their husbands helping them. Even their girlfriends show up to help. Okay? Go to the women's ward and the husbands are nowhere to be found.
They've gone to
work. Please, 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 support, support, support. If my husband didn't support me, I won't be here. So please, that support from the men is so important. It is only my breast. There is plenty bottles to go around. It is not the end of the world. You still need your wife to be there for you. You still need your wife to take care of your children.
Yes.
You still need your wife to play a role. So please.
I think I can hold brief for our men, because McLean is telling me that they are providing financial support.
Yes, we are.
So that's why they are not in the hospital. So they are going to make sure
you can come and visit after work. You can come on the weekend.
All right. Okay. So any personal observances from you or that you do that in terms of prevention, in terms of avoiding totally avoiding cancer, any cancer at all, anything we can, or even in terms of treatment, because I know that I think I read something that sugar doesn't help with cancer at all. So I know some people have, you know, whenever they hear some of these things, they are able to at least pinpoint one or two. Yes. So can you help us with any personal observances of yours?
So for me, I think that having a healthy body and building a strong immune system allows you to fight any kind of disease. And I'm happy you mentioned that. It's not just cancer, but anything. So if you're eating healthy, you're making better choices, you're getting up, you're walking, you're not a lazy person, you're not always in bed, you're taking better care of yourself, you will be okay. But having said that, what we put in our body is so important. Our diet in Ghana is not always the best. We overcook our vegetables. We eat too much carbs. We fry too much foods. So we need to pay attention. Now, sugar is not your friend in any case. Whether it's diabetes, whether it is cancer, sugar is literally like pouring kerosene into fire. It will flame it. So sugar is definitely your enemy. Reduce sugar. Sugar, having said sugar, is not just sugar.
Yes.
Your bread turns to sugar, your rice turns to sugar, your yam turns to sugar.
Cassava.
So your cassava, all of that. So you want to eat less of that. So when you look at your plate, you want to have more greens that you haven't overcooked. Okra is one of the best things to eat for cancer as well.
Wow.
The number one food, the number one thing to eat is aluguntugui. You can boil the leaves, soursop.
Okay.
You can boil the leaves. It is internationally, worldwide, one of the biggest cancer fighting foods.
Wow.
It is very expensive in the US. Very expensive in the US.
See things we take for granted here.
Yeah. So soursop is a good one. You can eat it. You can boil the leaves and drink it like tea. Do not put sugar in it. You can put a little bit of sobolo. You can mix it with a little bit of, you can do your own ginger. You can do your own little mix. But it's a very, very good one to drink. And then eating vegetables. I will steam okra and put it next to my food and eat it just like that. I would eat spinach. I'll dip it in a little water and put it right next to my food and eat it. So I think it's important not to overcook our meals. I love the way the Togolese make their okra. Everything is done. They put the okra, it boils once and it's done.
I even saw someone fry eggs with okra. I was shocked. Just chopped. I was like, did they have enough time?
Okra is so good. Okra is so good. And then, pay attention to what goes into your body. Reduce your fat intake. So on your plate, you want your greens. Your greens should be the most. Then your protein, and then your carbohydrate should be the less.
Okay.
So cut your fufu into two, and then cut that into two as well.
I see some people shaking their heads when it comes to the fufu. So no, not
if
the
you're
fufu.
going to eat it early in the morning, so that you have the whole
Enough
day
time.
to burn it. Exactly.
Yes.
Eating it at night is not the best thing to do.
Wow.
So, that's pretty much it.
Okay, what about personal hygiene tips? Any personal hygiene tips?
Listen, personal hygiene tips is personal. I think it's important to wash with lemons.
Okay.
Your armpits, because you don't want to keep using the deodorants that are antiperspirant that stops you from sweating. But you don't want to smell. As a woman, when you smell good, people want to be around you. They want to hug you. They want to. I personally, when I hug you, I'll leave a lingering effect on you.
Okay.
So if your wife, that's your problem. Don't hug me then. So it is important to smell good and when you feel good, don't you? When you look good and smell good, don't you feel good?
Yeah, you do.
Exactly. So those are the hygienic things that you want. You don't want to use lotion, too much lotion on your breast. You don't want to use. If you do, it's a very light. Make sure it's not a lot of product you put on your breast, and around your upper body.
Can't seep through the skin.
The skin is like a sponge. Everything seeps through. So be mindful of that. But other than that, I think that if we adjust our diet a little bit and we drink more water and we reduce the sugar things, the Coca-Colas and all the other stuff, we pull back on that, we're on the right track.
Okay. Well, what's your take on the no bra day just this week?
I actually posted a video of me removing my bra. I do it every year. I think it's fantastic. Anything to share and really push awareness is what it's about. So every year I post a video of myself taking off my bra and showing that in support and in solidarity of breast cancer awareness. But it's excellent.
So it's almost time for us to wrap up, but it's like we've been talking and discussing women. Now the men just want to hear a little about them. So they're asking if Pink for Africa does support men who have
1000% we do. Okay. As a matter of fact, 1% of the world population of men get breast cancer. So it is no news to us that...
Sorry, come again on that.
Yes, 1% of the world population. Okay. So 2 years ago when I was here doing my work, there was 2 people at a Konfanochi hospital, men who had been diagnosed and were going through. One had just finished a surgery and the other one was about to go in. So men do get, if you Google men and breast cancer, it comes right up. So as men grow older, their hormones change and they begin to form breast. So as men grow older, they begin to produce more estrogen when women begin to produce more testosterone. So you see a woman with a little hairs here, little hairs on the chest. And a woman's sexual libido also goes up as she gets older. And men begin to go down. So as they go down, they develop this hormonal thing. And you see a little bit of, So anywhere that there is breast tissue, breast cancer can show up. So the men are not free either. They're not 100% clear. So they should know that. And if they do get diagnosed, what I want to actually create in the coming year is a support group for the men, the husbands who wives have been diagnosed, so that we can hold their hand through this process and we can pull in other husbands who have survived their wives' treatment and also guide them in helping them. So we're going to set that up.
Because we usually think in our part of the world that men are supposed to be tough, men are supposed to be strong, and so even where they are feeling something, it's as if culture will not allow them to express it, expressing their emotions.
Very, very true. So men are physically strong, but women are emotionally strong. We've always been. We are the boss behind the boss.
I remember reading a description in my friend's house. It says I'm the man of the house because my wife says so.
That's right.
So yes, Pink for Africa is for Africa. It's not for women in Africa. It is for Africa. So yes, it does support men and it does support women as well. So is there any funding? I wanted to go a little bit. You mentioned that most of your funding comes from 80%.
We're going to be working on Ghana as well. We need for corporate Ghana to support.
So I'm giving you just like a minute to call upon them. So
all of corporate of Ghana, if you're watching, please, Pink for Africa has been here for the last 10 years. And before I came to you, I wanted you to know that we have already started the ship sailing. We're helping so many women. We're going to be coming to you. The letters are going to be going out the beginning of the year. Please find it in your heart to show a little support to help us push us forward. If we are helping 10 women, we want to be able to help 20 women or more. So please, we're going to be coming to you very, very soon. The name is Pink for Africa. If you want to donate, you can go to www.pinkforafrica.org and donate.
I was about to talk on that, touch on that, donations. What about those of us who just have 5 CDs to donate? Maybe I can do 5 CDs a month.
You can do 1 CD. We will take 1 CD. 1 CD from 1 million people is a million CDs.
Yes.
So I'll take your 1 CD if you want to. We have a Momo number.
Exactly where I was coming to. Is there a Momo number that we can quickly?
I don't know them. Yes, I do. Let me tell you right now. You can talk as I pull it up.
Okay, no problem. So just some few key points on what Madam touched on. She said early detection, and for me that is key. Early detection, and that is why Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center is partnering with us throughout this whole month. Free breast screening in the whole month of October.
Can we put it on there?
Yeah, free breast screening.
Will the camera go there?
Yeah, it should.
Or do you have the flyer? Awesome.
Free breast screening in the whole of October. Holidays, Sundays, Saturday. So don't say I'm only free on Sundays. They are there on Sundays. Tema, opposite the Tema General Hospital, they are there. West Hills Mall, when you go for your burger and your pizza, free breast screening is waiting for you. And just in case you need an ultrasound, they say it's for 50% discount. So 50% you pay, 50% is on them, and 20% discount on all mammograms. So that is what Sonotech Medical and Diagnostic Center is offering to you, because they want to give hope and they also want to save lives, your life and my life as well. I'll be there this Saturday to do my breast screening, so I hope to meet you there. I'll be in Osu Sonotech. So if you want to meet, let's meet there. Let's do a free breast screening exercise. So ma'am, if you have your number.
Let me say that I'm very, very proud of Sonotex. This is fantastic. I am really, it is with organizations and companies like this that we need to support. Please go and get your free screening, and for the discounts they are doing, wonderful. We are working our way to getting the government to giving every woman a free screening, a free mammogram. At least the beginning, their very first one should be free. The number to go for Pink for Africa to donate, whether it is 1 CD, whether it is 10 CDs, whatever your heart is in your heart to donate, is 054 956 1306. 054 913 1306. And reference PFA, Pink for Africa, when you do. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You are welcome. And make sure, for me, when I see initiatives like this, what I do is I do a monthly reminder. So I choose a particular date and I do a monthly reminder on my phone calendar. So whenever it's time, I usually peg it. If it's 50 CDs for the month, I say 50 CDs for PFA. Example. So whenever it's that time, I give, and I usually peg it at the times around which I'll be receiving salary, so that immediately it comes, I give it. So close your eyes and give it. You are doing something good, something wonderful. You are helping to save a life, and you're giving hope as well to other people. Any last take?
I just want to say I want to grow old with all of you. So please take very good care of yourself. I want to come back year after year. If you've survived it, come along with me. Let's preach it. Let's get our women to check. And please, if you do nothing, please self-examine and go and see your doctor and get your mammograms if you are of age. God bless.
God bless you all. That is coming from Adoatv. We say we bring good things to life. This is a clear example of one of them. It's AM Ghana. You've been with myself from the very beginning. Oh, Jonathan first with the news, myself with the newspaper headlines, and Reginald Ade was here with our political reps to do the discussion. And we had a beautiful guest right here, Mrs. Juliet Mills Luchot. Got that right? Okay, so to help us and create more awareness about breast cancer. Remember, early detection is key. So go out, get your breast screening done. Then we will meet here on Monday. Use this weekend to get it done. We'll meet here on Monday, God willing. I pray you have a wonderful weekend. I pray that all the good things you have lined up turns into, they become manifestations for you, so that we'll meet here with joy in our hearts. For me and the team, the cameramen, the producers, all of them, we're saying have a blessed weekend. We'll be here on Monday, 6 a.m. Bye.
Beautiful.